And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 49 of the Smite Update. My name is Octane Pro, and tonight I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts here. Do go ahead and have F. and Fats. How's it going, gentlemen?
It's going pretty good. My bad, I muted myself. How's it going over there?
It's going good. You know, myself and Fats had this little conversation back and forth, waiting for somebody. You know, chat was really interested, and where was he? Always late, never on time. It's F.
Nah. Chill with that. Hold that. We call that fashionably late.
Fashionably. I mean, you do look kind of cute today. I'll give you that. I don't know what that was, but I'll give you that.
Yeah, what was that motion? I don't know what that was.
Motion with the ocean.
All
right. Kids watch this show.
That's what kids watch this chill. Awesome. Well, folks, if you guys are just joining us tonight, we are on episode 49. Next week will be episode 50. Pretty exciting. The Smite Update's been around since early beta, and the show goes over community news, esports news, and finally the latest patch. And before we go ahead and dive in, I'll throw it over to Fats. What have you been up to this week in Smite?
Me?
You? Yes, you?
Typical Smite game. Friday night, the PTS went live, though. We'll save that discussion for later.
Sure.
But I gotta say, exciting stuff coming next patch.
All right. I'll throw it over to F. What about you, man?
Esports is back! Woo! Yeah! Doing a circle! I'm so excited!
You know he's getting the bat, right? Yeah, of
course.
Is he getting the bat?
Wait for it. Oh!
Oh, he did. Damn, he didn't get it. All right.
No.
We were taking bets on if you got the bet or not.
No.
No. All right.
Oh God. There we go.
Awesome.
Who's trying
No, for real. I am super excited to have esports back.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I really do. I'm excited to see all the new graphics we have.
We were just talking about that before the show, right before you got on. That was pretty baller.
Oh my God.
Hi-Rez put out some good stuff. Well, awesome. Well, before guys we jump in to this week's community news, want to remind you guys, if you guys catch the show late, don't have an opportunity to stay for the entire show. The VODs are available on YouTube. The link is at the very bottom of this graphic. And also, the audio version is available on iTunes and the Android store. So go ahead and check it out. It's great for on the way to work or at the gym, or if you're sitting in the cubicle, you need something to listen to, want to get your Smite fix, you want to hear my voice, Fats and F. You do. Go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and jump into community news. First thing I wanted to bring up for community news, and I thought this was pretty baller, and I thought it was pretty cool. And for community news, we take a look at what Hi-Rez is putting out for community-wise. We take a look at what's on Reddit, what's been posted on Twitter. And this week I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to a skin idea, which I thought would be pretty cool. Somebody posted it, and so I'll put it up on screen right now. And I was pretty interested in this. Ares hasn't really had a lot done to him recently, and I want to throw it over to Fats and get Fats' opinion. What do you think about that for Ares, Fats? What do you think of skin like that? It's a skin. It doesn't matter.
It's not a buff, which he needs, but I mean, he'll look cute, so whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout to Sour Kid right now. Thank you for telling me I look sharp.
You look sharp.
You did look pretty good. I mean, that purple outline was baller.
Yo.
Elegant, even.
That's right.
Why you gotta trash production like
You really think I'm trashing you?
That's right.
I was there all
you're
day.
trashing production.
No, I was there all day. It was a baller. It's cute.
That was good.
Good stuff.
It was good. So that skin was a pretty cool idea. I like it. Some people have argued that, I'd like to see Ares redone to more of a warrior style and stuff like that. And, I think we need more. I like the idea of supports in the game and more supports, to be honest with you. But I think a cool futuristic type of badass, warrior type of look, at least for Ares, would be pretty sweet. Something like that.
Can I chime in on that?
Yeah. Raise your hand, folks. Raise your hand when you have a question.
Can you link that in? Can you link that again?
Can I link it again? Are you in the patch notes right now?
Oh,
Are you in the patch? And for people in chat, though, I will put it in chat.
There you
that's
go.
what I want. I wanted everybody to see. So, real quick, let's actually look.
Yep.
So you just kind of see this dystopian Ares, and you're like, oh, this guy's cool. Let's actually look at this. All right.
Okay.
First of all, 2
break
many
it down.
skulls, 10-cent rip. All right. It
Okay.
is what it is.
He does have a point.
But let's move on past that. So
Okay.
he's got a spear
Mm-hmm.
with shotgun shells on it. What the hell is that about?
One
All right?
side of it's a shotgun. You don't see the shotgun at the edge?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
I don't.
You don't
Now
see
let's
the
move
tiny...
on. Let's move on.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
He's got random playing cards around his arm. Like, what
Twisted
is that?
Fate from League of Legends. It's influence.
How do we
Influence.
Influence.
All right.
You never know.
So we have,
Pull the
we
right
have,
chain.
we have random playing cards. Apparently, he took a visit to like Miami with his family when he was 7 because he's got a string of
Seashells.
seashells
Yo, the
hanging
seashells.
from his arm.
Yeah, that's kind
For
of
no
weird.
reason.
That's kind of weird. I will
Chill,
admit the
chill,
seashells.
The starfish is for good luck, bro.
Good luck.
That way you know
then-
the beads are getting
And then,
popped.
so he's got all this badass stuff, right? All this. Oh man, check out my black. Homie's got an iPod. What is he listening to?
Oh, he does.
He's got an
doesn't he?
iPod on
Miley
his arm.
Cyrus.
Miley
Like,
Cyrus.
I don't. I mean, I don't.
He's bumping Akon.
just-
I'm
it's
locked
just-
up.
Yo, so somebody in chat makes a good point. They say this wasn't made for Smite. I hope we understand that. Of course we do. I am recommending, and the person that posted on Reddit saying, hey, this would be kind of a cool idea. And I agree. I like the helmet. It has the Ares look for the helmet, you have to admit. It looks pretty cool. It may not be F.dot approved, but it looks pretty cool.
He's got an iPod.
He's got an iPod.
I'm
Oh,
feeling
That's all
the
I'm
iPod.
saying. Homie's got an iPod. Like.
He's got iPod. He got clips for guns. Extra 10-cent approved skulls.
10
Playing
cent approved
cards for
skulls.
after he kills somebody. Dinosaur bones, like, and
Okay, he's got dinosaur bones?
Yeah, right. All right.
Let's see.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We can see when an idea is shot down. It's not F.dot approved, but it's Octane Pro approved. That's all that matters. Moving on. Want to make sure that
Page
you
40 approved.
That's right, page 40. Oh, did you see something we posted on
Let's
YouTube on the VOD? There was a bunch of page 40 on last YouTube video. The VOD from last week, page 40. So, anyways, next thing I want to go ahead and point out, Smite Community Mumble, and I'm going to post it in chat. The reason I bring this up is Wednesday nights, HiRezAPC and HiRez Kelly do Pug Wednesdays. And so I'm going to go ahead and post it. I think this guy F.dot as well. Go over there, check that out. If you guys are definitely, let's say you play by yourself and you're looking for a group of people to play together with, you want to go ahead and get in on some scrim games with some random pugs. This is the place to check it out. I posted the link in chat. It will be in the comments for the video as well. I encourage you guys to go over there if you have nothing to do on Wednesday nights. If you're not watching the Smite Central 3v3 with Fats and I, then you could go do some pugs. So moving on. Both, that's right. See, that's what you do, right? You do both.
Yeah, no. On the real, actually, you can find me every Wednesday. Well, I try to do every Wednesday. Sometimes I'm otherwise preoccupied, but
Sure.
every Wednesday I try to hit up the pugs and at least play one pug.
Okay, good.
HiRezAPC and I are great friends, and I like to pretend that Kelly and I are good friends, and it's just a lot of fun. Honestly, you get a mix of. Like very new players and some more experienced players, and we can I turn up my mic? Yeah, I can do that. We just kind of hang out and play it nicely. Can you do that, Octane? Cause
I just turned it up. You're good. I got it.
Perfect.
I got
But
it.
we get a mix of people from various levels of skill. Wolfie, you should come through. SHADOWQ joins occasionally.
Sweet.
And we kind of just like ball out. Like, yeah. There are winners and losers, but nobody really cares. Like, we'll go into a match and we'll be like, all right, the goal of this match is to make APC die 7 times or more, And like, maybe we lose because we all killed APC, but like at the end of the day, we all sit there, we laugh and we joke and we're just hanging out, And that's really like Smite. Has a couple, there's Smite like Hyper Esports, and then there's Smite like plug in 4 controls and play Mario Party,
Sure.
and that's kind of where we chill at. We just play Mario Party on Wednesday nights. So come through, Wolfie. We'd be mad happy to have you come chill.
Excellent. Moving on from there, we
I
saw.
could join.
I know, right? We don't have that opportunity because we're casting. We're casting on Wednesday nights.
What's casting like?
Yeah.
Yeah, explain to me what's casting is like. I've never done it in my life.
Nope.
Shouts to
never.
Confi. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Shout out
So,
to,
shoutouts to who?
Life.
Life, awesome. So we also saw Hi-Rez Studios went ahead and released a video that we briefly saw at the launch tournament a little bit, and this came out on April 29th. And pretty much, this is a great video to go ahead and toss over to your friends. This is the new way to play a MOBA, and this is a video that I'll go ahead and link in chat for you fine folks. And it's great, it just kind of gives you, if you have a friend that's going ahead and starting out on Smite, or you're a beginner to Smite, check out this video. It's very basic, but gives you the understanding of, hey, how to play Smite, how to play jungler, how the towers work, how the minions work, the lane compositions, Fire Giant, Gold Fury, stuff like that. So it breaks it down real easy compared to like linking your friend to a how-to article that's 30 pages long. Go ahead and just throw this video out there. It's just under 7 minutes. It's produced, I think, it's produced by Hi-Rez and Tencent.
Yes.
And definitely check it out. It kind of has that Tencent touch to it for sure. And yeah, it'd be awesome. And I'll post it one more time in chat for anybody that did not have the opportunity to check it out. Have you guys seen this whole video yet?
I don't watch stuff like this.
You don't watch stuff like that. Are you too good for this?
I've seen the original.
good?
Just an esports.
Are you talking about the original with the weird accent?
I've seen the original with the Chinese accent, which
Yeah.
is kind of hype.
Yeah.
And apparently they remade this one, but it's pretty cute.
Yeah. Yo, shout outs to HiRezAPC. Used to do the Smite update with me. What's up, Rizdy? Long time no see, buddy. Welcome back to the world of Smite. So moving on, something that just got posted tonight, actually, and I'd like to see more and more of these articles for sure, is we did see this come out of Team Dignitas tonight. And what this is this is an article actually produced. I wouldn't say an article. I'm sorry. It's more of a guide produced by SHADOWQ. And I'll put it up on screen right now for you fine folks. And you can see it's pretty much a guy. Aphrodite is definitely making her way back in to the meta. DM Brandon's been saying it forever how good she is. And so we see
DM Brandon.
So we see an article come out from SHADOWQ. We saw a lot of excellent play out of him at the 200K tournament using Aphrodite. And it goes in the introduction of Aphrodite, purpose, along with builds that they recommend. And along with the ability journey that you take. Finally, it goes into some of the items. I like it how Watcher's Gift starting out and moving into Midas Boots. And then he goes ahead and breaks down the builds based on situation. And I really like this. We used to see this type of stuff out of like Smite Fire, if you remember back in the day, where we would have people putting together builds and guides based on situation. So right here we have example build when behind, go this route. When even or ahead, go this route. And then finally, when you're very ahead. And then finally, he rounds it up by just explaining the abilities in a little more detail. And then he goes into finally like the gameplay style based on early game, mid game, and late game. And this is some great stuff. And I'm happy to see pro players starting to put this stuff together, because not that I don't mind seeing, like, if you go over, for example, you go over to Tier Monster, there's some great guides over there, but not all of them are actually produced by professional players out there. And I think this is really good, especially Team Dignitas pushing their players to put out more stuff like this. Any comments from you gentlemen on this?
Your voice just cut out, and I checked this guide out earlier just to see how Shadow God plays her.
Okay.
Because I love Aphrodite before DM Brandon even cared.
Yeah.
Nerd. But I'm just saying, I'm mad. I can be mad. I have rights to that one.
Yeah. Right.
But I'm glad he made this guide to really explain the different builds depending on how you're doing in the game. I mean, if you're behind, he says to grab Wingblade first. Not Wingblade, Witchblade. I think that's Witchblade?
Witchblade is Winged Blade, bro.
Yes, correct.
No, different.
Oh, no, Winged Wand, my bus.
Yeah, see? That's how I was confused.
But
grab Witchblade if you're behind, and just go into solve early if you're ahead, and all these different builds, well, all three of them, to explain how you can play the character differently and how she can just be the most beautiful thing on the planet. Yeah. And one thing I want to point out before F dot is the fact that he levels his kiss before his get back, and that is exciting.
Yeah, for sure. One of the cool things that I really like about it, that is the same thing you guys mentioned, is the situational builds. The worst thing in the world is when a player comes in and says, nope, this is what I build.
Yeah.
Tier Monster told me to build it. Shut up, Tier Monster. This is what I do. And you're like, dude, you're behind by 17,000 gold.
Yeah.
Stop trying to build a Route of Tahuti third item. Nope, this is what Zatman does. Gotta do it.
Zatman builds Aphrodite.
Gotta do it.
Let's go.
I saw Wolfie build Doomorb on Hell. Gotta do it. And like the thing with Smite is that it's all situational. It's all about how you play the game. I always say you got to play the game you're given, not play the game you want.
Okay.
So if your ideal build is ABC and then homie comes up and changes everything, you have to change for that. You know, we always lament, as a caster, I always hate when I see a Ra Aphrodite or something like that, or a Ra Vamana combo, and nobody bought Divine Ruin. Like, what are you doing? Builds have to change, so I'm very happy to see that Shadow put that in his thing.
Yeah, and you know, just to point out there, second thought there, like I'm very happy that you said that, F dot, about the fact of, you know, when you jump into a game, everything's situational. You know, who your lane partner is, who you're going against, all those items are, you know, very situational. If you're in dual lane and you're going against a double physical lane, just because Tier Monster has you building something that has like magical protection on it, like, are you kidding me? Like, that's a complete fail. Like, come on, like, so
no point in avoid stone.
It's like
Odin, Apollo.
You know, and I understand we got new players out there, and there's nothing wrong with that, but don't be afraid to build your own builds. You know, look at your play style, look at who you're going against, and build towards that. You know, the stuff on Tier Monster, the stuff that players put out there are very much, you know, what they're recommending, but if you play the god a little more unique in a different way, and you find something that works for you and you're successful with it, go with it. So,
to a certain extent.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Don't go ahead and build like something absurdly obnoxious and your team just flames at you because of the fact that it's not going to help them out in the long run at all. And the last thing I want to talk about in community news before we move on, and I thought this would be a good transition between community news and esports, is somebody posted on Reddit. And they said, what does it take to be a pro player? And I want to ask both these gentlemen here, F. Dot and Fats, their perspective on that, because later on tonight I'm going to have Barracuda on Smite Talk, and I'm going to ask him the exact same question. And I want to see the different perspectives. We have F. Dot, who is very much caster and has integrated himself into the scene. And then we have Fats, which has done the exact same thing, is not only a community personality, but admins for the Hi-Rez tournaments as well, and knows this sport so well, comes from other esports. So I'll throw it to
E-Squad.
That's right. I'll throw it to Fats first. And if somebody was to come to you and say, what does it take to be a pro player, what would you recommend?
Dedication.
Okay. Please tell me that's not
dedication.
What you're gonna say.
I could easily just say dedication, and you could understand from what that word means that it branches into more than just, okay, I'll just keep playing the game, No, you must be dedicated to the craft in the way you play, in the way you practice, in the way you learn, in what scrims you're going to perform for the week, how you're going to practice this new god that just came out because he's broken and doesn't make sense. Anything that goes into your game plan for the next event is dedication. Wolfie's in the chat. I mean, my man's just dedicated to that solo lane. All 6 gods he plays, he's pretty dedicated.
6?
Probably. Was it 4 then? I don't know.
Yeah, probably 3.5.
3.5. Depends on the meta that day, right?
But dedication is what will make you really understand the game and get your fundamentals better, your positioning, you'll learn your skill order a little bit better. You'll understand why you're doing these skills in a specific order. Your item picks will be better. Your actives will be the cutest things on earth, and everything about you will just be flawless and beautiful, like me.
Like
girl.
It's
okay,
funny
F dot's alright.
It's funny because I don't know if it's going to seem that way in the stream, but as soon as you said how beautiful you was, your camera messed up. And the only part of your camera that messed up was your face.
Oh, snap.
It must have got a little too cute for you over there with them eyes, bruh.
I guess so.
So, F. Dot, I'll throw it over to you. You know, if somebody wants to come out to you and say, what does it take to be a pro player right now in the Smite scene, how would you respond?
Well, I'm gonna just regurgitate what Wolfie said in chat.
Okay.
I think the most important thing for a pro
here we
player
go.
is get groupies and hot cosplay girls, just IMO. So that's the official pro player perspective.
You heard it here first.
It's a lot of dedication, of course, like Fats. There is an internal skill level, whether you want to call it athleticism or whatnot, reaction time, press your buttons, when it comes to things like Death Scythe cancel, Soul Reap cancel. Like, you have to be able to do these high free. So there's that. There's the mechanical subject, but it's also a mentality. It's a completely different mindset of the pro players and of the newer players. And actually, it's very funny when you look at the top tier ranked players that don't play competitively.
Okay.
They're the ones that sit there and blame everything under the sun except for themselves.
Sure.
And sure, maybe on some occasions you've seen a pro player do that on stream, and you know what? Sometimes that's warranted. Yeah. But you know what makes a pro player is the ability to notice when stuff is your own bad.
Sure. Especially admit it too.
And internalize that and work with that. You know, self-evaluation is very big. And you know, I'm speaking in a very broad sense. Sure, Smite pro player, but you know, whether you want to be a pro basketball player or a pro shuffleboard player, you have to be able to look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if it's not working out, assess the situation and fix it. And you got to be and overall you got to be humble. When either yourself, your coach, your fans, or your teammates say, "Yo, F dot, you're really pooping the bed early game." You don't just say, "Nah, I'm the best. Peace." You got to sit there and go, well, all right, what can I do to fix this? How can I assess my game and take something empirical out of it and just and better myself? And there are a lot of other things, like I said, mechanics and dedication, but I think the biggest difference between a pro player and a high-level ranked player is the mentality and the thought process that goes through becoming a better person. Shouts to, first of all, every single person, but I5. We'll talk about I5 later.
Yep.
But the story of I5, Durgius, and the rest of that team, right there, is what makes a pro player.
Yeah. All right. I like it. Then that'll kind of transition us right into our esports section, second section of the show if you guys are just going ahead and checking us out for the first time. And the first thing I want to do is we're going to go ahead and bring up the article that Hi-Rez came out with pretty much with the Smite World Championship Series. Goes ahead and breaks it down for you. And I'm going to throw it over to F. Dot to go ahead and kind of explain this to what you guys can expect over the next few months coming out of Hi-Rez Studios and the Smite scene for the tournament side.
Oh my God, esports!
I'll give it to the man right here first, obviously.
I'm so excited for the new season, man. So we have the new 2014 is the year we're in.
Yep, that's the year. Yep, that's right.
So this week marked the inaugural weekend, if you will, of the 2014 Smite World Championship Series. Hashtag SWCS. Get it trending, folks. Anyway, what that is, it's really fantastic. Essentially, there's a really interesting breakdown of the game. For the next 3 months, we're going to go through regional qualifiers. Of course, we're splitting up EU and NA as per usual. And it's 3 months. May, June, July. It's all weekend tournaments, the weeklies like we know it. You know, Saturday, North America, Sunday, Europe. And then that all culminates into a $50,000 regional LAN. You have no idea. That's ridiculous. 50 grand.
Yeah.
Last year, 100 grand was for the finals. Now 100 grand split amongst the two is going to be the regional LANs. Okay, so we're going to meet up in one physical location for the LAN. After that, there's a wild card. Shouts to whoever made this. I think it was APC. Wild cards is exciting. After the regional LAN, which qualifies people for the finals, the wild card comes out. Everybody that didn't make it to the regional LAN, now you get a chance to go to the finals. Those teams, they culminate, they play in a group playoffs, and then World Championship. North America, Europe, and China come together. We meet in one spot locally and play for an undisclosed amount, but more importantly, the pride of 2014. And so this week was the first week of 12 weeks that we're starting. Today was Europe, yesterday was North America, and I want to hear what you guys, first of all, I trust that you guys watched at least a little bit, and I want to hear what you guys saw, because I sat as a caster, a fan, everything, and I was just floored the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I'll start out first off. I gotta, me being the one that definitely looks to detail for production side of things. And, we talked about weeks and weeks back how every week Hi-Rez is stepping it up with production. And this week was definitely there as well. I mean, if you looked at the graphics, F. and I were talking about it beforehand. Like, we're super pleased by the direction they're going. They took a step up and went even farther there. The stats are amazing now with some of that. What is that? and I'm sorry, but what does that cool graphical thing look during the picks and bans that goes ahead and adjusts? What's that name for that? Do you remember?
The
it's a hex
graph.
Yes, there we go. Thank you. That was
Beautiful.
awesome. That was so cool to look at as things went on. I mean, I'm very pleased. And that's just like, this is week 1. And I want to remind people, like, we're in week 1 of the qualifiers, and we have so far to go moving forward from here. And that's not even the gameplay. Like, we'll get to the gameplay here right after we talk about this in regards to this week's, like, North American and EU scene, because there's a lot to talk about. Upsets, surprises, everything. But I'll throw it over to Fats, thoughts on, what we're looking at here for the Smite World Championships for 2014.
Well, the first thing I can say is congrats to Dignitas for winning yesterday. But also congrats to what many people would consider an upset after the results of the 200K. The boys from Team Snipe took out Cognitive.
Very true.
Now, Cognitive got a recent roster change, which most people thought was going to make them even stronger than they already were by picking up Jeff the Sex Handler. Best nickname in the world. But apparently the boys from Snipe have been on that low-key grind.
Yeah.
What you got over there? What's that?
Well, so you see, Snipe has always had Cog's number.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that. They were on the second stage. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well,
They almost had that one. Yeah. Ouch. But now, instead of letting that happen again, they clutched it out and slammed it. I'm just saying. Considered on the numbers just by win for win, this would be considered an upset, correct?
Yes and no. I don't think it's considered an upset at all.
Well, as a caster, I'm just speaking from a numbers perspective.
Okay.
Out of win-losses, this is an upset.
Do you have those stats?
Do I have those stats?
I know that.
Okay, let's compare how they did last season.
Okay.
You're talking tournament winnings. I'm talking about game winnings. When these teams meet, Snipe has. So here's the thing. Last season, if y'all remember, Cognitive Gaming won out. They won 8 weeks in a row for the tournament total. But a couple of times they met up with Snipe.
We got Jerv the Great White.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. I saw that and started laughing as well.
That's true. But so let me. I got a serious point right
Okay,
now.
No, go ahead.
So Snipe has taken a number of games from Cognitive. The only teams that were able to ever take games away from Cognitive were Snipe and Dignitas.
Yeah.
Dignitas kind of just out-Dignitas Cognitive Gaming, right? They kind of just were the better team occasionally. Not enough to win not to win best out of threes, but enough to win a game or two. Snipe, I think, just got Cog. You see this a lot in other sports. Whether it's baseball, where the Yankees are the best team and they lose to the worst team because they just know what makes them tick. I think that's what's up with Snipe. Snipe just knows what makes Cog tick. They see what's going on because they win. Obviously not consistently, otherwise they would have taken it. But they won at the 100K. They won at the Smite launch. They won a couple of games leading up to the Smite launch. We called it the Path to Smite launch. Snipe has set the precedent for taking games away from Cognitive Gaming. So when I saw the win of Snipe over Cog, I wasn't surprised, and I'm not knocking the level of skill that Cognitive brings to the table. I
can agree with you there. I'm not surprised. I'm just saying most people didn't expect that this week, especially with the roster changes.
Yeah, I think that Snipe, Snipe, honestly, my opinion, I don't know if Snipe is a better team than Cognitive Gaming, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to say they're not. But I think that they know how Cognitive works. I think they know what makes them tick, and I think that helps them win games against.
Now,
Cognitive.
doesn't that bring forth the problem of being the best just shows people what your weakness is?
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that? You don't agree with
so.
people? All right. So how I think about this is, who the best is. He's the mid laner for Dick.
Rip.
Yep, rip. I knew it was coming. Nice try, kid. No, but holding that spot as number one makes people want to sort of snipe you out of that position.
Wow, you are so lame. It's unbelievable.
I'm on fire, baby, on fire. NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
The Knicks are trash. So, So, being in that position means that everybody's aiming to try and take you out. So they're going to look at your games more closely than they would other games. That's what I'm saying. Like,
All right.
when you're going up, say the Dodgers are going up against the Yankees.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
what you're saying, and I'll respect that. Because you know
That's
they're
that's
the big
specifically
boy on
what
the
I'm
block,
trying
so
to
you wanna
say.
work
That's
with
what
that.
I'm trying to say. Not the fact that you're number one, you shouldn't be losing, or you're number one, everybody's trying to gun it for you. No, you're number one, and you're consistently winning. So people are gonna watch what you're doing because you're holding that spot. So they're gonna try and either emulate or formulate something to make you break down. And that's what that's what you say on Snipe has their number, and I can agree with that. I mean, in the past, they've taken games from them, taken games during the path 200K. They've taken them at the 200K itself. But now they're just showing that with this new season, they've come prepared to really make it their own.
Yeah, and I mean, also, not for nothing, we laughed at what Wolfie said in chat, but he's 100% right. I think that Nick outperformed not only a number of mids, but himself as well at the Smite Launch Tournament.
I guess he did.
Yeah.
We've spoken about this.
Yeah, I think Nick's performance at the Smite Launch Tournament was transcendent, and it was
his best performance.
Well, without a doubt. And I don't know if he could repeat that.
Okay.
And Nick's performance leading up to that in the path to Smite Launch was nowhere near that level.
So do you think it was a one-time deal then? Just kind of he was spot on.
I'm not sure that it's a one-time deal, but it's
it might have been the change in the situation from the online comfort of a home to that LAN center. This is it. We got to make this happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
People don't like if I'm at home, I don't usually get into that mindset of all right, I'm here to win for real. No, I'm just like, all right, let me just play.
Compared to in the zone at the location.
Yeah. But like you're there, you've been flown there to try and make it happen. You got to work even harder than you usually do. Now with the roster change for both teams here, Cogs changed and picked up. Oh, that's disgusting. Cogs changed and picked up Jeff Hendler, and Snipes picked up, Jerb, the 2 a.m. streamer himself. So now we're going to see the differences in how the teams work and what they've picked up in this little roster change situation before this new season has started.
Yeah.
We can see that Jerb has shown his merit, in his old team Clash and Slash, was it?
Clash and Slash, yeah, before the right around
and
the
now,
100K.
Now he's making big plays with the boys from Snipe.
Yeah.
So I expect a lot of things from this team. I always have, because I'm a secret Snipe fan, not very secret. I mean, those are my boys. But I mean, they're here and they're gonna make sure they get these plays done. Unfortunately, they were not able to stop Diglife from going down in the grand finals, but they're on the rise. They're on the up and up, and I'm expecting a lot of new teams in the North American scene. Game Changers took fourth.
Yeah. I mean, so just basically all I was saying was that I think Jeremy is much more consistent. And
I can agree with you there.
Yeah, I think so I'm completely making up these numbers. They're not based on anything. Scale of 1 to 10. Let's say Nick is consistently a 6.
Okay.
Right? And then at the launch tournament he performed at a 10. I think Jeremy might not reach that 10 point like Nick did, but you can always expect a 7 or an 8.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good point, without a doubt.
And I think that Snipe with the 4-man team of Snipe without the center player, the core of that understands COG and how that works. And Jeremy, if nothing else, is a mature-minded player, and because of that can adapt. Okay. And so when he comes into Snipe and learns their system, whatever their system may entail, the win of COG, the win over COG didn't surprise me at all. And I mean, shouts to COG. I still think that they are very scary, and I think that they're definitely a contender for the #1 slot. I just think that people realize that they're human. And I think that Snipe has always had their number, and with Jeremy, it's going to increase the ability for them to beat COG, but don't be surprised next week and the week after when COG comes in first.
Well, that's the thing. I think we're being very judgmental after week 1. I mean, things just
that's our job.
What? Never. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree for sure.
To judge based on the results of a tournament, especially after the initial week where you leave your impressions, I'm going to judge you for what you did. I'm going to judge you for your performance, and I'm only going to expect you to get better from it.
Okay.
Because if you underperform this week, you better outperform what you did next week.
Sure.
Because if you're just entering to enter, come on.
Well, let's go ahead.
push for it.
Let's actually go over this. You know, we kind of briefly talked about, you know, the results from this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but let's go over what we got here for the folks at home. So we had the Hi-Rez Studios Week 1 North American qualifiers yesterday, where we saw some interesting things come out of the brackets, but all said and done results. Team Dignitas 2-0 over Snipe. Then we go, Snipe comes in second. Third, we see Cognitive Gaming, which we just kind of discussed. And then finally, the Game Changers coming in fourth. So F. Throw it to you. Any surprises, upsets, anything that really stood out to you? New teams, predictions, anything from the North American scene from yesterday?
From the North American scene, sure. Let's see. No, that's my community. I'm trying to find the brackets for yesterday. Oh, you know, I could just go to Esports.
That's right.
SmiteGame.com. Yeah, you click on tournaments, and then you click on the fact that oh, you got to click on NA first, and then here you go. So I think one of the coolest things coming out. So Game Changers did pretty well.
Yep.
Game Changers did well.
They've been consistent.
Yeah, I mean, Game Changers, they are a big. They honestly are a big deal. For those of you unfamiliar with the Game Changers, it's the Boosh, who's probably the only one you don't know. You got Snoopy, Divios, the Gars, and Eonic. Zero Gars, Eonic have been involved in the Smite professional community for a long time now. Divios, the neophyte, he's briefly flirted with professional play with Jeremy, actually, who plays for Snipe now, as we just spoke about. With Clash and Slash, he's a solo lane player predominantly. He's good, and as I mentioned, he's a little young, and though I don't know him personally, I've heard that affects his gameplay.
Okay.
So that might be his Achilles heel. And then you have Snoopy. Snoopy was the long-time bench for Denial and a true utility player, a la Zimpstar. Man can play any position at an extremely high level. And now you put all these people on the same team, and they're definitely somebody to be afraid of and watch out for. So they did beat, they came in third, I believe. They came in fourth. Cog beat them. They lost to Cog. They actually got stomped by Cog. But Game Changers are going to be somebody to watch out for. Outside of that, you know, nothing too surprising in the North American scene. You got Dignitas, you got Snipe, you got Cog, you got no longer Denial, but you have 5 Angry Men who I want to find. Here they are, 5 Angry Men. They actually wound up losing to the Game Changers, which might have been a little bit of an upset. We'll see. 5 Angry Men is essentially Denial plus. It's Rushed, Mace to the Face, and Pain Devion, who's now playing support, with Dare to Care, previously of Cognitive Gaming, and Madman Mark, a high-level ranked player. So, very exciting stuff coming out from there. We'll see what they can do. I'm interested. Dare to Care has a great jungle. I'm interested, to say the least.
All right, I'll throw it over to Fats. Fats, upsets, surprises.
Be right back.
You got to be right back. That's right. You told me about that. Okay, great. So
I'll be right back, guys.
Take your time. Take your time. So to throw it over for me, I mean, big surprise for me. I mean, Down to Frag. You know, saw them go ahead and journey through first round, second round, and then Down to Frag is one of those teams that was a team that we saw briefly from time to time again in the journey to the 200K, and they did very well when they were in the tournament. You know, they weren't in the tournament week in and week out. They didn't make appearance here and there. And everybody always had high hopes for Down to Frag. But looking at it here, we see Down to Frag made it out to the third round here, but did fall to the Game Changers. And, we kind of talked about, and just as talked about there actually by F. It's just the fact of how good the Game Changers are. And the reason I said earlier, like, they're so consistent, the Game Changers, is yes, this is week 1, but in the previous tournaments during our kind of hiatus with the tournaments, the Game Changers were definitely in the top 4 every week, doing very well in the North American scene. What are your thoughts on Down to Frag, just seeing week 1 here?
Toast?
Really?
I kind of think they're toast, dude.
Okay.
Well, they're toast for now.
Okay.
And that's a very big qualifier. I don't know if anybody mentioned this. I don't know if chat's blown up. I'm not looking at chat or anything. I'm looking at brackets at the moment. Nobody seemed to mention this. Rambozo isn't playing no more.
Okay.
So the backbone of Down to Frag was DJ Perdiccas.
Yes. Yeah.
So DJ Pernicus is the leader. You saw him on the Alienware analysis desk at Smite launch with the guy with the chiseled jaw. He was there. And he has a lot of competitive gaming experience, whether it's Counter-Strike here or there. He's played a lot. He understands the mentality that it takes to be a pro player. And from what I've heard, he's a good leader as well. You Won't was previously on the team doing different things. Rambozo was a big deal to this team. Now, Rambozo might not be a household name, but he really did a lot for the team. You Won't, I think, is very, very, very good. But Failure by Design, I'm not too familiar with and didn't really impress me much.
Okay.
Shouts to Shania Twain. I kind of feel like Rambozo was a big deal. I'm looking at chat now.
Okay.
Rambozo was Michael Jordan for the team, and Pern was Scottie Pippen.
All right.
I'll agree with that. I think DJ Pernicus did a lot of the leading, but Rambozo carried a lot of the work. DJ Pernicus's jungle, his mentality in jungle isn't necessary to get a lot of kills. It's a different way, and the mid wound up being a lot of and Rambozo wound up being a lot of the stuff. He was a very dude. He was just so potent and secretly potent. I used to laud MLC Stealth for being the best center in the game, and Rambozo's just kind of sitting here like, yo, check out my stats, bro. He was just a very big part of that team, and I think the fact that he's no longer playing really hurts them. I think You Won't is very good. I definitely do. But we'll see what happens with the rest of that team. I'm not gonna completely toss them to the wayside, but I don't think that they are going to be the surprise, almost make it to the launch tournament team that they used to be.
Okay. No, I think it's a good analysis of the team for sure. Hopefully we'll see that kind of change up a little bit, but we'll find out. We'll see how they do, because everyone saw them as kind of the snipers when it came down to early on in the 200K, just how well they did when they came in and dominated teams that were doing so well. But let's go ahead and jump in to the Hi-Rez Week 1 European qualifier results.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and pop them up on screen now. And F.Dot did have the opportunity to cast.
Hold on.
All right. You got something to say about the
Before
NA
we jump
scene?
over there, did we talk about the defragmentation of Down to Frag?
Can we see your face? Can we see your face,
that.
or we just gotta look at your door the whole time?
We just touched upon that.
I'm just checking to see we hit that, because Wolfie brought that up and said how it really did change the outcome of the event itself. I mean, without Down to Frag having that presence in the tournament, a lot of people stepped up and have shown that they have the same level of passion that they have. No, I'm here for 2 seconds.
Oh, 2 seconds. Yes, we did talk about that for sure. Down to Frag.
All right, I got you. So, I'm up here now. So,
if you start standing, you realize that F.Dot is going to start standing and pacing around his room talking with his rants and everything.
Sit back down. I'm out of here.
Did you have more to add to the conversation?
I just wanted to say that that team not being in anymore right now, at least.
Yeah.
Changed the results. Everybody expected to see a lot from Down to Frag, and with them out of it, you can say that a lot of the results have changed because of it. Down to Frag being, I would say, a top 5 contending team, especially with the annihilation of Denial Esports for the moment being, means that they were coming into this ready to actually make plays, but things fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they're top 5 right now, but they definitely were. I mean,
they could have.
They could have.
They are top 5 because the NA scene is garbage.
Oh, the guy that casted EU today.
What did we do? 3 out of the top 4. Actually, no, that's just 2. Never mind, my math is terrible.
Well, both 1 is still 2. All right, so let's jump.
Now we can move on.
Let's jump to the Hi-Rez Week 1 European qualifiers. And
yes, let's do that. I want to clarify my last statement.
All right, please do.
Okay.
The teams that are good in the NA tournament are not garbage. I'm not saying that EU is better than NA. I'm saying that holistically, there's a lot more talent in the European region.
There's better competition. Without a doubt.
Exactly. I think you have 5
I
teams
agree.
in NA, and you have a lot more teams in Europe.
Yep.
And I don't think that was true last time around. Last season, everybody was like, oh, NA is so bad and boring. COG wins every time. But I think there was an even amount of teams. It was just, there was more contention in the EU, but there was still only 4 damn teams. Maybe 5. It was like 4.5 to 5 teams in the European scene, just like the American scene. But this time around, the Americans kept their 4.5 to 5 teams, and then Europe was like, "Yo, new people, come through, make a team."
Yeah.
So, rip.
Rip.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at the results here that we did have going on. Go ahead and pop it on full screen. So we did go ahead and have Cloud9 2-0ing Team Solo Mid. We'll talk about that grand finals more and more here. We saw I5 go ahead and beat out Worth Gaming, and some teams to highlight here from this tournament that stood out to me, and then we'll kind of go around the block here. We did go ahead and have Team Coast Blue was in there. We did go ahead and have Exposed Secrets, I5, SK Gaming. Let's see who else here. As I said, Cloud9 was in there. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about surprises and round 1 upsets. I know F. you got a lot to say. You had the pleasure and the opportunity to cast this tournament. What was surprising that came out of round 1?
Worth Gaming.
Who's
that?
Who?
Exactly.
Wait.
They beat Team Coast.
Wait. Also to come out of round 1. Well, actually, no, you're right. That was the biggest surprise out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Worth Gaming who beat Team Coast. And I mean, so Shaggy Shank might be known around the scene.
But Princess Tomato.
Shaggy Shank is a high-level ranked player, I suppose. I'm not too familiar with the rest. I'm honestly not familiar with this team. Shaggy Shank on Hunter, Lieutenant Frosty in the mid, Variety at solo lane, Ninja Bobat, who's a new addition in the jungle, and Princess Tomato playing support. Who the hell are you, and why are you beating a top 4 team?
Shaggy Shank in the chat right now, Worth.
Like,
they're all in the chat now, Worth.
Yo, totally Worth, man. Like, I love it, dude. Like,
yeah.
I love it. I really do love it. Team came out of nowhere. Like I said, I don't know these dudes, but I hope I get to because I seen them play. All right, let's just talk about this. So they beat Team Coast. All right, they got lucky. Then they beat Not Today. I don't know what that's about. Who whatever.
Not today, man.
Then they beat Exposed Secrets, previously known as iKick, which was the team that I told everybody to look out for. They're gonna win. Proxy QQ, Funballer, Frostyak, Zalia, Shadow Nightmare.
Oh, it's just the team. I mean, the team that just piled itself together out of known players.
Yep, real talk.
And then, who? Wait a second, who? You lost to who? Who? Never even heard of him.
Yeah, and I like that. I like these type of surprises that come out of like week 1. This is excellent. Like, this is awesome. And I'm really interested to see how Worth Gaming does next week. Because this could just be like a one-time week where they're spot on.
No.
But no, F. saying, okay, and that's what I want to see. Like, I want to see a team like this where, like, as we talked about, like round 1, we see some of these top 4s that were at the launch tournament that like got completely knocked out. And we see surprises like this. Like, this is why, like, I commented and said, we see better competition coming out of the EU scene where we see a team like this just beat out, like, Coast like nothing.
Yeah. No, so if they beat Team Coast and then lost next round, I'd say Team Coast just didn't give them the respect they deserved, and they lost.
But the fact that they went on to take out Exposed Secrets, which a lot of people, that's a team a lot of people were watching for the main fact that look at who they have.
Exactly.
Everybody was expecting that team to, punch people in the face, but in turn, my girl Princess Tomato said, nope. I love that name. I don't even like tomatoes. That name's godlike. Name is godlike.
That is definitely a very good name, but okay, that's who Not Today is. Not Today is Restarian's team, and I actually kind of glossed over that fact because it wasn't televised and I didn't take a look at that.
Okay.
Not Today is I'm getting the wrong. The bracket's not working right now, but Restarian previously of COG EU, right? That was COG EU.
Yeah.
Yeah, Restarian is a pro player, so that's just
Yeah, not today
Oh,
is.
apparently
and
C9 was going to pick up Shaggy Shank, but Young Bay was faster. Oh. I mean, look where it got you, Suntouch. Got you pretty deep. All I'm going to say is, outside of the impact that Worth Gaming has put onto this, SK fell round 1 to I5, which means I5 is really stepping their stuff up.
Well, we talked about I5 last season. They were kind of a team to watch, but I'm really happy. I'm happy to see them in top 4. Yeah,
they're taking out top 4 seeds. Second seed SK.
So, fact check me. I think I5 has beat SK before, and this didn't surprise me. I think SK has stepped down a notch after losing recent members. I think NQ was a huge part of that team.
I will agree with that.
And
on C9.
Yeah, but look at the results today.
C9's new roster. If we can talk about just, I see the results. Yeah. But C9's new roster has really started to work together itself. I mean, the acquisition of both Young Bay and NQ has really pushed them a little farther ahead of the new Team Solo Mid with the little switching of the hunters right there, if you say so. I mean, you can see that. Young Bay brought a strong role in the fact that in the solo lane, NQ was just like, I'm here. I'm NQ, me and Elizabeth,
So can we talk about Sayo today, by the way? Like grand finals, Sayo?
We have
Sayo?
You're welcome.
He was spot he was spot on. He was spot on today.
Said that to me.
Yeah. Like, I agree with Fats. Like, the roster for C9 is looking very promising right now. And I like the fact that, like, we see this going on where we see a team like Team Solo Mid come out of the 200K and go flawlessly in the 200K. But then we have a few week break and we go into week 1 and we see them lose 2-0 to Cloud9. Like, I understand roster changes, but that's awesome.
Team Solo Mid.
They used to go back and forth.
Yes. They used to, but then look at like the 200K where Cloud9 did not do as well as what people expected.
Did you actually watch the games today?
I did. I thankfully watched just the grand finals today.
It was a 50-minute game. That might not, like, the second game I'll give you, but the first game was neck and neck. There was no lead for 40 minutes.
Oh, no, I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
The biggest lead of the game was 1,100 gold.
Oh, yes, I did see that. Oh, yeah, it was neck and neck the entire time. Neck and neck. Like, that's very surprising as well to see that. Where, like, when I got into it at one point and I was looking at it, it was like 45K to 46K. And just as you had talked about, the goal difference was nothing. Kills were the same. I'm not going ahead and being like, oh, Team Solo Mid's crap. Cloud9 is amazing now, because I can't say that. Look at the way the games went. I mean, I can't say that at all. But all I'm saying is it's very surprising to see with a few roster change-up like we're seeing out of Cloud9 how well they did today in week 1.
Okay. I don't agree.
Okay.
Cloud9 looked very good, and I said this before, both on my show First Period. I said this here on Smite Update last week. The Cloud9, the team, the outside of the line stuff just makes more sense. I think Young Bay and NQ fit together with Sayo and Suntouch personality-wise. Not to say that they didn't fit with SK and TSM respectively for NQ and Young Bay, but I think that they just mesh better. And I don't know Half Devil personally, but he's been the sub on Cloud9 for a long time, so no surprise there. Like I said, the first game was a 48-minute match, and that is, if you watch one match, watch that. It was neck and neck. Zimstar played the first one. Cuvo Fred played the second one. It was just insane, and it was great Smite. I don't think anybody was completely. I don't think anybody was completely overpowered. And I think both teams sort of showed their salt. TSM beat Team Spray, which is one of those second. They're almost there. They're very good. They beat Worth Gaming, who we just spoke amazing stuff about. TSM did well. They lost 2-0. You don't really come back from a loss like that. I called it wrong. I said there wasn't going to be much momentum behind Cloud9 going into the game 2, but they took it around with it. They got a first blood 40 seconds before the game started. They just continued, and they didn't let the foot off the gas, and they won very, very quickly. So TSM played very well the first game. So I don't want to take anything away from them, and I don't want to say that they're any less than the team that went to the 100K. I think a large part of what happened was QO Fred was not warmed up for game 2. I don't know if I would have kept the Zimstar in over QO, but if that was my call, that would definitely be a conflict in my brain. Do we put in a cold QO Fred or keep a warm Zimstar? But at the same time, that's just a rough conversation to have. I think TSM did great, and I don't want to take anything away from them.
I agree. I mean, both teams performed amazingly. It's just one had the edge over the other, and that's what happens in competitive games. Sometimes fatigue gets to a player. Sometimes somebody just can't handle what they're doing. Wolfie's funny. Sometimes things just fall apart in the middle of a fight, and that's what makes a fight so hard. Is you have to keep tabs on this enemy's ability is up, this enemy ability is down, B's just got used. You got to shout over your teammates so they know that certain things have been used and now they're open to be picked off, and sometimes the communication just isn't there, or bad plays happen. Either way, I can't chalk this up to saying, oh, they fell apart because their new rosters are bad. Mm-hmm. It's just first week, they went in it. But I expect better next week, because next week I'm not going to be so nice.
Okay. All right. Any last comments on the NA or EU scene from this week?
I expect a lot more next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had TSM and Cloud9 we just spoke about. We spoke a little bit about Worth Gaming. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure we give Worth Gaming and i5 their due.
Mm-hmm,
so,
yeah.
Shaggy Shank's Worth Gaming. I think this is a team to put your eye on, put your thumb on, watch what they do. You know, if you're the type to track scrims, track these dudes. I don't think they won by accident. I don't think they won by chance.
No.
You look at their builds are on point. You look at how they played the game, watch the VODs. Shaggy Shank is scary as hell. Ninja Bobat was all right. He brought the pain, got good numbers. I think he has a lot of room to improve, but Shaggy Shank is scary, and Variety's...
Who did Shaggy Shank play?
Shaggy Shank is the hunter.
Who did he play?
No, he played Artemis. He played, let's see, in the
second
round.
in versus Exposed.
Because
that was the one that was streamed, right?
Yes,
was Artemis?
Artemis.
He played Artemis.
11, 4, and 9.
11, 4, and 9. Ooh, that's actually really
dang
good.
18,000 player damage. The highest on Exposed Secrets was 15,000 from Chuck. But besides 15K, the highest was 9. All right? Shaggy Shank went to work, and Worth Gaming, I don't know who the hell these dudes are, but now I do, and I'm excited. This is one of my teams for EU, and moving on to i5, the perfect Cinderella story. I mean, as a sports writer, I don't write about the EU scene, but I wish I did so I could write about this beautiful story of i5. i5 came up and they were garbage. They came into the scene last year, and they just sort of slapped 5 dudes together. They always had Sinantri, Lloydie, Durgius, and I think Advert. iRaffer's new, Advert might be new, but they had a core of 2 or 3 dudes, and they always kind of rotated people in. It was more, you got the idea that it was fun, and then Durgius was like, nah, we're gonna do it. And so they were bottom feeders, and then you saw them get beat in the round of 1. And then one week they won, and then they saw them get beat consistently in the round of 2. And then they won, and now they're getting through the round of 3, the round of 4, and now they won. Now they're fighting for bronze. They won bronze this week, and that's amazing. It's one of my favorite stories. I love to see these people just pick themselves up by their bootstraps. As horrible of a cliche as that is, yeah. I love to see that happen. And they're some of the most humble people around. Every week, Durgius throws up an AMA on the Reddit, says, hey, I'm not a pro, but I'm trying to be. We do better. Tell me why I suck. I'll tell you why I think I'm good. Let's trade brains.
I've noticed
that. And it works
out.
It's beautiful. I love to see the community interaction, and I love to see this team get better and better. And like I said, they started off garbage. I'm not going to pull punches, and I'm sure they'd agree. But now, different story, different conversation, team to talk about. Do I think that they could win first overall right now? No. 3 weeks from now? Yes.
Okay.
Possibilities are still there. They're just going to grind out whatever kinks they have in their teamwork, and they'll just be able to make things happen. I mean, the first experimental competitive tournament, they shouldn't treat it even any different than... Well, actually, yeah, you should, obviously. I mean, your scrims are where you try out strats and see if things work. Tournaments, this is where you see if what you've learned from your scrims will actually apply. Yeah. Now they've seen, wow, this one worked. Next week they'll test out something else. And like F. Dot says, somewhere down the line, they're going to push far and above what they've been doing already. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I expect that from every team that's placed top 4 this week. I mean, I didn't expect the upsets that we got today, but I expected some upsets.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the patch that has not yet been released. Will be released this upcoming week. A few things to talk about. We got the new god, the new league system. I know a lot of people are a little hiatus right now with ranked, and then siege mode, and then finally the god changes. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to Fats. What are your thoughts on the new god, Fats?
So Friday I had a stream and it was titled "Osiris is Broken."
Okay.
Because Osiris is broken. Duke came in there. He's like, "LOL. Oh, new god must be broken. Hi-Rez doesn't know what to do," and as a joke. And I'm like, no, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're releasing Osiris, broken god of the afterlife, where his swing chain is 0.51. 0.51. When I saw that, what was the first thing I thought, F. Dot?
Chin size!
There you go. You apply those chin size directly to somebody else's body, and what happens? 0.5. 5%. 1. 5%. 0.5. 5%. 1. 5%. That is 20% HP gone. How fast? How fast? What?
I like the voice. Yeah. Yeah. So are you saying he's strong? I don't understand.
I'm saying the title fits. Broken God of the Afterlife. Let's break that. If you could bring up the patches, we can talk about these real quick. Just his kit so far. His basic attack, and this is what makes him officially a jungler. Now, before I go into this, I want to tell everybody in the chat, stop looking at the titles Guardian, Mage, Hunter, Warrior, and Assassin.
I like it. That's a good point.
Assassin does not mean jungler. Warrior does not mean solo laner, because mages go to the solo lane. Mages have been hunters we've seen. Yo, that new all from Ally, though?
Yep. Yep.
You can see that the meta is different. Warrior supports. Doesn't mean they're guardians. Just going to kill that off right here and right now. But his basic attacks, the special part of it, Osiris dual wields his sickle and flail. The last 2 hits are AoE splash damage, which means in the jungle, he can clear pretty fast. And if he starts Death's Toll, which is going to be his start officially, he's going to heal whatever damage he takes even faster. Now, his passive is where things get a little bonkers. Even more so than the already, easy chin size, easy life. Easy elo, easy life.
Easy skins, easy life.
Pretty much easy anything. Now, with his passive, Fragmented, every time you use an ability, now they're going to change that. Right now, it's whenever you use an ability. Bart says it's whenever you hit somebody with an ability.
Okay.
You're supposed to lose a fragment. But as it says, use an ability, you gain 2% physical damage mitigation.
Wow.
Mitigation.
Wow.
2% up to 8, which is 16% damage mitigation, and then you turn into spirit form. Now, what this means is, what this means is 1, you can walk through your mirror wall. 2, is Odin caging you? Let's walk out of that too. 3, your auto attacks are hasten fatalis for 6 hits.
That's absurd.
Now let's do easy numbers here. You're running after somebody who's fast.
Okay.
Does not matter. 6 hits, you have no movement penalty. You are chasing them down. With chin size, that's guaranteed 30% HP gone. Plus your damage that you're doing.
Yeah.
Character's broken right there. Don't even have to talk about the fact that his 1 is a slow that costs 30 mana. That is up every 5 seconds.
Fats, I don't understand.
Two.
I don't understand, Fats. I don't
Okay,
understand.
okay. Sickle Strike. Let's break this down.
All
Sickle
right.
Strike.
No, it's perfect.
You throw your Sickle Strike, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They are now slowed by, 20% for 3 seconds. Okay? That means you're going to close that gap. It only costs 30 mana.
That's pretty absurd.
30 mana. And as it stands right now, you can just walk around at the beginning of the game throwing your Sickle Strike to gain your passive
Oh, that's
instantly.
true.
That's how it stands right now. It will be changed, according to what Bart said during patch notes.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that. Now, 5-second cooldown, 20% slow. His 2, Spirit Flail, AoE on the ground, it's distanceable. You can aim it. A little bit of delay on it when it comes out. Doesn't matter. It's big enough to catch who you're looking for, especially with how it's supposed to be used. Now, alone, Spirit Flail does a considerable amount of damage, 60% scaling. It's actually really good. But what you get yourself is a movement speed bonus of 20% on a character who's already able to stick to you. And when used in conjunction with the 1, not only does it guarantee you're going to land the damage if they have no movement ability or escape ability, like a blink, disperse, Valkyrie's discretion, anything to get them out of there, the slow is now 50% for 4 seconds. What that says is you are moving 50% slower for 4 seconds, which, and you know how the 1 works with the 2? Well, did you know that the 1 that works with the 2 will even lead into the 3? Now, Judgment Tether, all right? Let's talk Judgment Tether here.
Okay.
I'm in here. Judgment Tether, all right?
In the
It's
zone.
This area
In the zone.
around him. Area around him. Boom! You have this little tether. You can see it, which is good. So you know you're attached to him, because if you could not see this, death. Now,
That's making babies cry.
Either way, death does not matter. Okay? What the 3 does? Okay, tethers himself to nearby enemies for 4 seconds.
Yep.
Okay, he's latched onto me. It's not Ares. He's not crippling me. He's not stopping me
Thank
from
God.
jumping out of
Thank
things.
God.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever you are attached to, meaning if you jump into a team fight or walk your way into a team fight and have all 5 people tethered, off rip at max rank, 30% damage reduction. Anything you do gets punched in the face for 30%. Are your basics hitting for 100? Nah, that's a 70, bro.
I like how this is not even an ultimate either. That's absurd.
But no, it doesn't have to be an ultimate.
I know.
The ultimate doesn't even matter at this point. The 3, all right. How it works is, like I said, your damage is reduced by 30 at max rank. But wait a second. 30%, but then 5 every second for 4 seconds. And then at the end of that 4 seconds, if you're still in that circle, you get stunned for 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
So let's make some math happen right here. Hit him with the 1, bow, 20% slow. Hit him with the 2, oh crap, 50% slow. For how long? 4 seconds. How long does my 3 last? Guaranteed stun, guaranteed death. Easy elo, easy life. And there's an ultimate who, kills healing for 6 seconds, which you can't cleanse with beads. So who even cares?
So I gotta ask.
Oh, no, I forgot to say one more thing
All
about
right.
this ultimate,
All right.
especially with how this new meta is going to work. It is ridiculous, and this character will never see competitive play in the way he is shaped. Let's talk about the ultimate really quick. Max rank,
Okay.
700 damage,
Is that it?
100% scaling. It's pretty cute. I like that.
Pretty cute.
Pretty cute.
It's a
All
pretty,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Pretty cute. It's like Kumakarna numbers, but Kumakarna doesn't scale to 100% on a jungler. Just saying. It's a jump, so you can avoid damage while you're channeling it, because you jump in the air and you do like some squiggly crap. I don't know what the hell it is, but it does it. And now here's what it says. Osiris will target the lowest health god in the area, meaning it won't do AoE damage. So that's good, because he doesn't need that. Okay? he's going to jump onto an area. Whoever has the lowest health is going to get nuked for a lot of health. And then, just because Osiris is Lord of the Afterlife, name of the ultimate, you now cannot heal yourself for 6 seconds. A team fight does not last that long in a real engagement, okay? You have about a 4-second real fight before you die as a out-of-place character. When an Osiris is going to engage on you, if you manage to survive his 1, 2, 3 ABC combo and you think you're going to make it out, my man's is going to pounce on you for 700 damage, and then you're not healing that back for 6 seconds. So, rip Aphrodite, unless she ults on reaction before he hits her. Rip Hell, what are you going to do about it? Raw, are you thinking that Celestial Health is going to help you from that Alienware UFO? Not here, brother man. You're going down. And, of course, the thing that makes it a problem, enemy minions in neutral jungle camps in the target area take double damage.
For no reason.
Level 20, I'm going to hit you with this. Level 20, that's 1.4K plus 200% scaling on enemy minions and jungle creeps. Now, I don't know if this affects Fire Giant or Gold Fury because he is not currently testable on Conquest in the game because it's only League Conquest. And, of course, he's auto-banned because League, how it works. Now...
So, okay, here's my point. So we have...
I'm not even done. That's
oh,
the best
my
part.
word.
Not even done.
Do it.
Take into the account that the jungle timers are now 3 minutes for mid camps. I spoke to F.Dot and I spoke to Cred about this when he was revealed, and we saw this redonkulous donk city, bro. Crazy. We are thinking that now, instead of fighting for mid camps at 2 minutes, there's going to be a lot of fights at jungle camps. And what this means is, if an Osiris is behind a wall and knows you are doing your red buff, he's going to wait. Did I hear a hog? Was that early? Let me ult it, guarantee it, hit you for damage as well because it doesn't prioritize minions.
Yeah.
Any minion in the area will also take the damage. So it's going to hit you for the 700, hit the red buff for the guaranteed 14. That's going to guarantee the red buff on him. Now he has a red buff. Now he's going to sickle you. Now he's going to spirit flail you. Now he's going to just chain you up in that tether and you're dead. And he has your red buff and your jungler's out of the game. Osiris, broken god of the afterlife.
Hey, Fats, do you need a cigarette after? Do you need a cigarette after that?
I don't smoke, man. I'm not a smoker. I'm just letting you know what it is.
So are you glad that this is in the PTS right now? Because I think it's giving Hi-Rez the opportunity to just see how broken.
PTS. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to see more PTS coming out of Hi-Rez so that these things can be tested before implemented. Because I will say I've been away. I haven't had an opportunity to play him, but just from everything I've seen on Twitter and your lovely explanation, let me say, I will have to say there's definitely some things that need to be adjusted before going live, without a doubt. What are your thoughts, F.Dot? I mean, you had the pleasure of hearing that lovely description by Fats. What are your thoughts on him? I mean, just from what you hear?
I mean, that discussion is basically like Fat's monologue right there is 100% correct. Like that's that's the culmination of a couple of conversations that we've had. He's had with Kret. I'm sure he's had some firsthand experience talking to people. Dude's just broken. You know? We'll see how it works out. And dude's just broken. I mean, no reason for me to say something. Fat said it better than anybody else could.
All right.
It's just broken.
There's
no reason to. He's got to get touched, and PTS is just something that's going to be norm now that the game is released.
Yeah.
That's like not even a. It is what it is. He's like so obviously a jungler and very obviously a support as well. He can play both. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to play a lot.
Everybody's going to ban him.
I mean, I like the fact how Fats puts it, like stop looking at the titles that are given in game, just because the way the meta is shifting right now, and especially we all see it. Every new god comes out, and he's played everywhere. So I think that's something to pay attention to.
It's not even about meta, and it's just
his kit.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about Osiris. I'm talking about your idea that like not to look at the. Those are
labels?
Suggestions.
Those just explain what the god's kit is.
Not really. They dictate.
Well, not their kit, but it shows what their would be scaling and stuff.
Well,
would it suggest how they scale?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
I think it would suggest how they scale, how their health increases, how their mana pools increase.
Yeah.
That's how I see it as. A Guardian has more health than he does mana, and his defenses go up faster. Assassin has more damage that goes up faster than his health and mana. A Mage, larger mana pool than health pool. Mana will increase.
Exactly.
Lowest health pool, of course. And a Warrior, even trade-off for lower attack than defenses, but still has the ability to do damage.
Yeah. And so the labels do affect the way the stats are positioned.
Mm-hmm. That's how I take it as.
Okay.
Yeah. There's stats out there. We can review them next time. Where they like the warrior tag actually dictates X amount of HP, X amount of power, etc. But they're sort of just guides, and being creative to a certain extent will reward you. Shout out to a little-known player named Lazes, who brings Athena into the jungle. Shout out to a little-named player, Captain Twig, who puts Chalk in the middle lane. Shout out to a little-known player named Everyone these days, who puts Aphrodite in the solo lane. Shout out to Nuwa in the long lane. Shout out to anybody.
Nemesis in the jungle.
Exactly. So these are their guidelines. They're ways to allocate stats. And when people get angry that Nemesis is considered a warrior instead of an assassin, you're just stupid. It's how her stats are done. I'm going to repeat that. If you're angry that somebody is called X or Y, for example, Nemesis being called a warrior instead of an assassin, you're stupid, because those labels don't mean anything outside of the allocation of stats. Where they belong, where they're played, where they excel are up to you as a player. It would be very boring if Hi-Rez released a god and said, hey, play this in the middle lane, because it would leave absolutely no room for improvement
creativity
or player
or
innovation
or anything. I mean, doing that would say, hey, we're going to make a god that's only for this one spot. I play Kumakarna solo. It is the funnest thing in the entire world, because if they try and fight you, you punch them in the face, and then you fat run out of there, or you mez them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Put them wherever you want. The question is, can they work there? Take a look at their kit. Take a look at their kit numbers. Does this mean I'll be able to successfully gank as a jungler as Kumakarna? No, because he doesn't have the damage to make it work, as our meta dictates a high damage jungler is needed, or somebody needs some sort of CC to get in and make things happen. Take it, the Thor change. Thor was a warrior. Thor got changed to an assassin because he was played that way, and his kit really showed that, and people were complaining to the point where, oh, he's an assassin, change him to an assassin, he's an assassin. So they just changed the label, and now people are like, oh, if they're going to change Thor to an assassin, why won't they change Nemesis to an assassin? Why isn't Osiris an assassin? Doesn't matter. It's a label. It's a fun label. It just dictates little things. Does not matter. Does not say
stat allocation. It's supposed
to be played like this.
Okay.
All it is. Hunters can go on the solo lane. Apollo, though?
Game Hunter played Apollo the solo lane consistently.
Disgusting.
Shibalanki jungle was one of the more disgusting
that
things
thing's hilarious.
Yeah, it really is.
It's dark. Wait, no, he's in the what? No.
Yeah, Shibalanki in the jungle. Wolfie in chat is telling me that he's gonna bring Thor to the solo lane.
Yo,
I've played with Thor solo before.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
I don't think it works too well.
Nope.
You have to level Mjolnirs. That's the weird part.
I just don't think it works too well. I don't think it works too well. And we'll see.
The problem, let's just to jump on it real fast. The problem with that is Mjolnirs does double damage on the return to enemy gods, but half damage on the return to creeps. The problem there is you have to Mjolnirs, and then you have to what is it, Berserker's Barrage, and the problem is Berserker's Barrage is knocked back and it pushes all the creeps out of the area you're doing damage.
Right.
So that's problematic. But still, if you're gonna make it work, I expect Wolfie to make it work.
I was just gonna say that. I've seen, if anybody can make it work in the soul lane, I really like to credit Wolfie and I don't know. Usually, I mean, Zelia brought Bakasura, and Game Hunter brought Apollo. Solo laners are in general pretty crafty.
I forgot something about Osiris.
Oh boy,
just one thing. Somebody on Twitter just reminded me, Mr. Mizao. And if that at Fats, if that description of Osiris wasn't enough, his ult gives him his passive straight out.
Yep, pretty much.
Which basically means, hey, I just used all this. Let me do it again.
Yep.
So
now,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say let's go ahead and move. Let's move on. Let's move on to the league system. Excellent.
This is fun. I
excellent
like this.
talk about it, and we have a new league system. As you guys will notice in chat, there's nothing broken in game right now. The rank system has been disabled for a week while we see it overhauled to pretty much, I guess you could call it season 2 or version 2 or whatnot.
Version 2.
And Hi-Rez comes out and says, with this patch, we are launching a new league system incorporating many of the requested changes from our community and many of the features that have come to be expected in the competitive ranked gaming. And we saw Hi-Rez Chris last week actually have an opportunity he announced some of this during the show, which was awesome, and he said it's very much take StarCraft 2 and League of Legends, merge them together, and they're taking a lot of those ideas from there. So I want to throw it over to F. first. Get your opinion on this. You're very integrated into the competitive scene along with ranked, which watching a lot of these competitive players play and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the new system coming out here next week?
I think it's cool. I honestly didn't have a problem with the old one. I
Really?
thought 30 days was fine.
Really? Okay.
Explain why. No. Explain why you had no problem. You weren't a ranked player. You barely played ranked, remember?
I started playing ranked, and I didn't see a problem with it. People complained about being stuck in the wrong bracket. Swallow it, bro.
Swallow it.
It's a month.
No,
Man up.
About that.
Man up.
Hi-Rez Chris himself said there was an issue where people would be put into a bracket based on their casual elo instead of their league elo.
Sure,
and
there's
was a
an
bug
issue
on
there.
their end, which was a problem.
Yeah.
Well, bugs aside, we're talking about how theoretically it was supposed to work
Correct,
out. And to
correct.
be fair, it worked out for me. I played 3 seasons, I got gold, that was it.
Okay.
So, 30 days, play minimum of 10 games. I don't like the fact that the old league kind of was based on win streaks. That kind of was counterproductive to me, but, whatever works. I think the new one is definitely an improvement, but I don't think the old one was horrible. The new version, if you guys aren't familiar, the way ranking now works is you gain points per win all the way up to 100. Once you reach 100, you go to the next level. There's bronze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, silver 4, 3, 2, 1, gold 3, 2, 1, platinum 2, 1, diamond 1, and then bazooka. What do they call it? Masters, and then that's just the best of the best of the best start. So, it's pretty basic. You can level up dynamically. You don't have to wait till the end of the month. I kind of dug the whole end of the month thing because then you just sit there and you're like, everybody's kind of vying for the same process. I like that. I thought that brought a cool conversation. But everybody in the world decided that they hated it because everybody in the world thinks they're supposed to be platinum. And when they lose, it's because of the feeders in ranked solo or ranked silver. And so I don't really care or have any... I don't have any remorse for those people. I don't really care about you. But the new one should be cool. It should shut people up, and when they don't rank up dynamically, I can laugh at them because they'll definitely be the ones that were complaining about the old system.
Okay, now Fats.
That is fair. Now the thing here is having to wait so long means you will be stuck with people who are not of your caliber in ranked.
Yeah.
It gives you no reason to play ranked.
I disagree. I played ranked.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, if you are considerably better than everybody else in your bracket for the moment, let's talk about this first and foremost. Silver Hell is a real thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Most people in Silver were there with people who played a few games in Bronze and got pushed up because they played those 10 games. Almost anybody who plays their 10 games in Bronze gets into Silver. Silver's where a majority of the player base is right now, and that was a problem. Now, with how this new system works, I would call it a godsend. it makes sure. Now, of course, we have to point out the fact that there is going to be a. Oh, is that Wolfie? Yo, you looking mad cute over there. Anyway, just gonna point this one out.
All right.
Oh, word?
Elo reset.
Okay.
Everybody's at 0 at the beginning. Most people don't like that. I like it for one reason. You're gonna move up pretty fast if you're worthy of moving up.
Agreed.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna move up if you're worthy of moving up. And like F.
Yeah.
says, if you were complaining like you deserve to be there, you're probably not gonna get there. So there's another L for you to hold, but there's no problem with that. I have no problem with that because what that does is make sure that the people who are consistently playing and trying to be good at the game and have shown the skill to be good at the game are going to move up with other players who are good at the game. Instead of being stuck with people who played their 10 games and made it out because they won their 10 games in a row.
It's a month. Hold that.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's a little absurd because you have to sit there and wait. Like, if you jump in and you're, just as Fats has said, one, you're playing with people that aren't at your skill level, and then two, if I jump in and I play 10 games and I dominate, why should I have to wait a month to play with? What? I'm gonna kick your ass. Well, thankfully, we have Wolfie on the show here to take F.'s place. So, Wolfie, you get your stuff in gear. You good?
Whoop dot. No, but before I pass it over to Wolfie, because I know he has a lot to say about this one, Mr. Late Night Ranked over here. But this ensures that you'll be playing in the same bracket as other people of your same caliber, and the same level of how you play yourself.
Yeah.
You'll be moving up with people. If I was as good as DJ Pernicus, but I was still stuck in games with DM Random, I'm joking. I want to be playing with DJ Pernicus instead of stuck down here.
Listen.
But how the current system worked was you would have that skewing that would put you up. Say you were in silver, you'd play with gold sometimes, and when there aren't a lot of people playing and your elo is a little too high, you get into the levels with, I believe, some diamond. I got a ranked game with Allied the other day. I don't know how.
Well, listen, I mean,
maybe I'm just mad good. I think I'm mad good.
I think you're mad good, bro.
We went mad hard. Not show. My Wukong. Well, everybody's Wukong.
It's Wukong.
Everybody's Wukong. Come on.
But no. Here's my thing.
Okay.
I started ranked mad late. I started ranked 3 months ago.
Okay.
No. Let me
because I don't believe in ranked.
Let me tell that real quick. The fact that you start late meant it would take you even longer to get to the level of players where you're supposed to be.
I know.
That was the big issue. That was one of the
I don't
big
care
issues.
because I'm a normal person.
You are a normal person. Some people are tryhards. Can I live?
I'm a tryhard too. You're from Boston. You're not allowed to quote Cove.
Hold up.
Anyway,
Hold
so
up.
here's the deal. Here's the deal. No. Let me.
Go ahead.
Let me say something.
Of course.
So, I played bronze. I had a game where I played Thanatos and I went 22-1 in 12 minutes. You really think I was at my skill level? I'm not a pro player by any means, but I understand the game. I understand the meta. My mechanics are ass, but everything else is copacetic. Realistically, in the old scheme, I'm probably like high gold.
Okay.
Maybe the next level low.
Sure.
Okay? That's probably where I belong. I won my 10 games. I played for fun. And it's all about the mindset. Like, I'm not going to complain about, you get a game with trashers and, well, they're bad. Oh, well. I think the problem, sure, it was a problem, and the new version is better. But at the end of the day, the old version was more a problem with the player attitudes than the system itself.
Okay.
Hold that.
The bat out of nowhere.
The bat comes out. Oh.
Okay. Wolf, are you there?
He's there, but he can't. He's
working on his sound.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out the sound.
All right.
So we'll see
Fix that because I'd love to hear your input on this. But just to go against that, somebody in the chat themselves said starting late made it easier to move up, which is incorrect.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong because what that means is, all right. Let's say you started in the very first season, which was only a week. I didn't play that week. So I was left in dust with people I should have been paired with based upon my, like you said, your mechanics and your understanding of the game in comparison to how other people understand the game. Now, it's not easier to go up because you'll be with people who aren't that understanding of the game to your same level, your same caliber.
Snap. I'm good now.
Oh, he's there.
Let me throw it to Wolfie. I want to throw it to Wolfie. because he's more of a ranked monster than both of us, and he'll be able to understand why this new system is so godlike. Please.
Okay, so look, so this is the whole problem with the old system, right? And it runs into the issue of it automatically raises your elo, and it keeps resetting the elo every month. Now, you're never going to get stuck in elo hell.
Yeah.
The whole point of the last system was to help people in elo hell, which is what it did. Some people got into brackets they didn't belong to, but it was mostly higher brackets than the lower brackets. And the bad problem was that the matchmaking system punished you because there were so many people at different elos that higher rated players were being put on the teams with lower rated players against a ton of mid players. So I would be teamed up with Joe Schmo number 97, but I would be against I'd be against like Barracuda and everything,
Okay.
because they were at like 2,000 elo while I'm in Diamond. You know what I mean? And that was a huge problem. That was like the biggest matchmaking issue there was, because every month it would lower your elo to the amount that you were at, and you were getting a really bad disparity in game. Like really just, it was uneven games, and it happened every month, and every month that went by, it got worse. And Hi-Rez noticed that, and you can look at it from the leaderboards. The higher the higher rated you were from like Diamond and Bronze and all that,
Sure.
the higher that you were, the lower your win ratio was. So Gars had like a 90% win ratio when he started off in Silver, but he got to Diamond and he was 10 games ahead of losses.
Oh.
So it not only created that issue, but it wasn't as rewarding, because when you have a dynamic rank queue like that, you always want to keep playing because you want to get to Master.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lose, you go back. You know what I mean? There's pros and cons to winning and losing, instead of just, oh, I got my 10 games, I'm top 30, I really don't have to play for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
So what do you think of it now? What do you think of this new version coming out starting like next week?
Love it.
Why?
Love it.
Now, not that I'm disagreeing with you, but for the folks at home, why do you love it as a high-level competitive player?
Because I have incentive to keep playing.
Okay.
And I won't feel that, oh, this guy got on a win streak, and I can't catch up to him. You know what I mean? A person went on a 30-game win streak, and all of a sudden he's top on the leaderboards, and no one can catch him because he's like 150 points above everybody because he got on a win streak.
Yeah,
and that's cool. But if you go on a loss streak,
That's what I gotta say.
you don't gain much for playing anymore. If you're negative 10 points, you don't really want to play anymore because you gotta play 10 games until
You're
you
back
get
to
1
even.
point. Yeah, it's like then I gotta win even more. Well, if you lose points, and
Sure.
when you win, you just gain points again. It's just it's
I feel you
get
on
more
that
out of
much.
it.
It keeps you in
on
check
that
for
much.
sure. It keeps you in check for sure.
I think evaluating player skill based on win streaks was just stupid.
It was punishing.
Yeah.
It was punishing.
Dumb. Because
Go ahead.
I mean, first of all, my man, one of the people involved in the cognitive gaming organization. We both have played chess, and maybe he's played a little bit more than me. But Elo is a 1v1, no random equation involved skill rank thing. So when you put 4 randos on my team against 5 randos on the other team, Elo just don't make no sense. That's a different conversation. But now you're gonna come in and say, all right, you want to base my skill based on my overall win percentage? I'm down with that. Because I'm going to get some games where it's me and 5 dudes named Ekfats on my team, so I'm going to lose.
You're playing 6 versus 6? What are you doing?
All right? And then, you know, the next game, I'm going to get Octane Pro on his Ymir where he thinks he's good, and we're going to lose again.
Yo.
Right?
you're-
But then,
You just came at everybody. But then, finally, I get Wolfie. Is that the next part?
and then I get Wolfie and we lose again because he's building Doom of Hell. All right?
But let's
Wolfie
not
did it. I can do it too.
let's
I
not talk
held
about
it.
F.
Let me-
Thanatos
let
though.
Let
Let's
me
not talk about his
let me get to
Thanatos.
my
Go
point.
ahead,
Let me
go
get to my point. My point is that if you're a good enough player, despite all of the horrible players on your team, you should overcome the overwhelming percentage. Overall, your winning percentage should be better. You should win some of those games where you have the feeders on your team because you're just good enough. And then when you have average players on your team, you should win because you're the bomb.com. But when it comes to win streaks, y'all can't predict that. Yeah, I could just get drunk and play awesome for 5 matches in a row, and there you go. And then the next match, I get like, you know, Wolfie after having a bad day, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna go play Geb solo lane and build Winged Blade all day, and we're just gonna lose because he feels like throwing my game. And then I get screwed? Nah, win streaks don't make any sense. I don't understand why it was a thing in the whole case. Everything else about the system, I don't care. Y'all can complain about it. I thought it was fine. But the win streaks gotta go, and that's why I'm happy we moved on to an overwhelming, well, get X amount of points, move on up, ease on down the road. Shouts to the Wiz.
And ELO resets.
Yeah.
ELO resets.
Yeah, and a lot of people are arguing against the ELO reset to the new system, but I completely agree with it. Like, it's a completely new system. So how can you go ahead and carry over?
Oh, no. Yeah, we're in a new system. ELO needs to be reset. That's fine. We're all getting reset to bottom ELO. We're all starting on that's cool. Everyone who's high ELO is going to be high ELO again, and everyone who's low ELO is going to be low ELO again.
If not faster.
Have a month. Yeah, and you shouldn't have a month where it's like, oh, hey, I can play like shit for the next 5 days because ELO's reset. I hated the last week of the month. It was the worst.
Troll time.
It was the worst. Everyone was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to play Arachne middle. I'm like,
Naruto support, baby. Here we go.
Walk the sewer lane. Let's make it happen.
I was like, oh, no. Yeah, it was the worst. You should not get your ELO reset.
I do agree with this overall ELO reset. Do you agree with this, Wolf?
Yes.
It's about damn time. Like,
it's
put us all
a
at the same
brand
level.
new system. Bring everyone down to the same ELO. Bring me down to 1,000. Cool.
I'm gonna farm you.
Yo, the benefit of it though, too, is like literally after a handful of games, you're gonna start to be put into games with people at your skill level. Because the system is going to do what it's supposed to do, and you don't have to wait a month or more to be into that. You, as a competitive player, within a few days, you'll go ahead and hit that perfect point and be good to go. But starting out, you're going to be playing with people that are going to frustrate you without a doubt, and I hope the high-caliber, high-ranked pro players are ready for that, because they're going to deal with it for the first several handful of games, without, for sure.
And I think one thing that happens is because the tiers are split into divisions, you're going to play with people of your division instead of your tier.
Yeah. Which
means if you're Bronze 2, you're that much closer to getting the silver. You're going to play with Bronze 2 instead of Bronze 5. We're all like, like Wolfie said, yo, Arachne mid. Wolfie said it on Smite update. Doing it right now. Makes the most sense. Let's go. If Wolfie said it, he don't even play mid lane. But he's better than me, so I'm gonna just copy it.
You think you're joking? Do you know how many times I got into a silver scrub surfer match and like homie was 0-7 starting his Doom Orb because Wolfie did it? You think that's a joke?
You gotta start Doom Orb. I don't even have a joke for this. Doom Orb after you've died 3 times. The only way.
I keep getting a question in chat. Can we please explain how points for win-loss are going to be calculated?
Sure.
They haven't revealed that.
Yep.
It's going to be an under-the-hood type deal, but it takes into account a lot more than KDA, RDA, etc., whatever fancy term, whatever
just be
gaming
how it is now, where it just takes it. Oh, did you win? Good.
Okay, yeah. Here's the exact.
Good.
Well, here's the exact thing that Hi-Rez comes out with.
I see Scott. By the way, I see Scott chilling in chat.
And he says, okay, the way it says here in earning tribute, they're calling it same thing as like your points. Is that the old system of top 10 games have been removed. Winning league games will earn tribute points, and losing league games will deduct tribute points. So it's very much, you win a few, you lose a few, you have to see where you're at. The amount of tribute you gain or lose per game is based on your hidden MMR, matchmaking right there, rating. And that is on other games, other players in your match. Now, advancements and demotions. After earning 100 tribute points, your next win will advance you up to the new division. So you could go from, your bronze to silver, and I assume they're keeping the same league, silver, to gold and stuff like that. And reset your tribute to 0. So every time you pretty much move up, you're up to 0, and then you start over, you get to 100, you get promoted. And you could win and lose, and just as Wolfie had said, it's going to be back and forth. Win some, lose some, back. It's going to keep it exactly where it needs to be, and I love this.
The one thing I want to make note of on that is because since I don't specifically know the numbers on how, because it's hidden MMR rating that says how many points we're going to get or lose.
Yep.
And that'll probably be boosted if we win or if we lose. Like that's obviously gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you won, you get a little more. You lose a little bit more. You might, but it won't be as bad because you did so well.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is if I make it from silver 3 to silver 2, I started 0. My silver 2 game, my first one, straight poop, like baby green mess. I'm gonna go straight back to silver 3.
No, you're not.
Hopefully not. No, that's what I'm saying.
No.
I'm hoping that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. It's confirmed. There's a grace period.
There's a grace period.
Okay.
I'm saying that it's not.
Which is important.
Probably in there, but I didn't see
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah,
that's what I like. I needed to make sure that we had that grace period because I get pretty trash when I think I'm doing well, and then I get cocky, and then I'm like, yo, Doom Orb. I'm popping.
Yo, I build Doom Orb. So I'm knocking Wolfie for building Doom Orb Hell because homie fed with Doom Orb Hell this weekend. I gotta say that.
All right. Let's bring this up right now.
Okay.
There was no item in the game that would have saved me from that situation.
No. You're totally right, but I gotta trash you.
I could have bought Mystic Mark first buy, and I would have still got mine.
No, you're totally right. I'd still gonna trash you. It's just welcome to my Smite update.
Pretty much gonna hold it either way.
I'm down. I'm down.
You must not have seen the episode with Omega. All right, that's all I'm saying.
It was a good one.
That's what I do. Anyway, I build Doom Orb every god. I do Jungle Athena. I'm building Doom Orb. Come find me in the casual queue.
Right.
In the casual queue, come find me.
Anyway, so there's going to be a grace period, which I think is important because your mindset changes when you know, the players that you play around. So like, you're playing Bronze 5. You actually can build Doom Orb, Jungle Athena, and do well.
Yeah.
You get to Silver. You might not be able to do that.
Yeah.
You got, like I said before, you got to play the game you're given, not the game you want. So things change when you everything about Smite, hell, life is all about working with what you got, not what you want. So you got to be dynamic, and so they give you a little bit of grace period right there. I saw a question in chat before that I really wanted to answer.
Sure, go for it.
Not can I buy the Mellow jersey because you're never gonna get it.
I need to say one thing.
Okay.
I hope there's a Hi-Rez in it. Please
There always
not
is.
take out the ability to check MMR on the website.
Yeah.
League of Legends did that,
Yeah.
and people created websites to do it. People love that.
Yeah.
They
I
love
think it's
to
important.
be able to see their elo. They don't care they have to go on a website for it, and it's not easily accessible. It's good to not have it in the game because majority of players shouldn't see their elo, but the people trying to get to a next level want to see their elo. They want to get better and they want to see the progression.
Sure.
Keep it on the website. Don't make it 100% hidden.
Yeah. No, I like it. One thing I want to bring.
Hide the casual elo.
Oh
Please
yeah.
hide the
Yeah.
casual
Agreed.
elo.
That's
Yep.
Because when it comes to ranked,
Yeah.
I always say this. When it comes to, I chill in the casual queue a lot because I'm just trying to chill, maybe have a beer, hang out in the morning, drink my coffee, play my games. I want to jungle Anubis. I just want to chill out. And then when I play ranked, if you're not getting mad at me for feeding, I hate you. Seriously.
Yeah.
If I die 5 times and I don't get BM'd, I hate you. Because ranked you're supposed to care.
Yeah.
But in casual, I'm supposed to sit there and let the soccer mom playing Poseidon in the duo lane with her Thanatos husband rock. I'm just supposed to let it rock, and you're supposed to have fun. And when they feed and you surrender at 12, you say GG, better luck next time, that looked like fun, and then you move on. So don't show people they elo because that's just going to make people mad. But in ranked, that's a different world, baby. Mad Max. You're in Mad Max right here. This is the underworld. You're supposed to get smacked. You in Detroit. Watch out. And I'm serious on that. Like, you got to try. And I agree with Wolfie. When it comes to ranked, there needs to be some tangible number that you can be like, hey, that's me, that's you, you suck. You know, that's sort of the mentality of ranked. Like, we're laughing because that's a joke, but at the end of the day, that's all it is. All it is Zapman seeing if he's still number one. That's all ranked is, let's be realistic. And that's a good thing, damn it. That's a good thing. You take a look at the League of Legends ladder, and people are trying to get into the Challenger Series. You take a look at the StarCraft ladder, WCS is the story behind that. You know, there's a big deal with being the man when it comes to ranked. And if you take away that ability to see my number and be like, that's me, well, then you're going to ruin a lot of people's dreams, and you're going to ruin a lot of people's days. You know, I mean, honestly, the only reason I started to play ranked was because I wanted to make sure that Kelly Link wasn't a higher rank.
Oh, snap.
That's a good reason. Yo, but she's getting good too.
Yeah. All right. So let's round this back here and look at actually with leagues how they say here a season is roughly 1 year long moving forward. At the end of that, we're going to go ahead and they're going to award different trophies and stuff like that. And then they're going to go ahead and reset everybody back to 0. Do you think a year is too long, or do you think a year is perfect? What do you think, Wolfie?
Perfect. I think
Perfect.
It's right. You need something long. Like the rank system should be a long. It shouldn't be something that's reset on a very like a consistent base. It needs to be like long stretches of time. Like a season is a season. It's not a month. It's not 30 days.
Ooh.
This thing, you guys think that it's going to be like 3 days before the game's actually becoming. No, it's probably not going to happen for a month or two.
Yeah.
Probably even longer than that. It's the games aren't even going to get anywhere close to where they be. Probably till 3 weeks later, and that's going to be close. So by the end of this year, you'll see who really deserves to be in the higher elos, who deserves to be in the Masters bracket and Diamonds bracket. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. You're just going to have to accept it and get better. That's just how that is.
Did you guys see they're going to be adding a Masters League?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I'm excited for that, too.
That is awesome. I'm so happy.
To not be in it.
But you know what? That's awesome, though, because I feel like in other games like StarCraft 2 and League of Legends, like, to be able to be like, okay, we have Wolfie here in Masters. Like, when you look at tournaments, you know, that's part of, like, what you see. I think, like, stuff like that, I want to see that when I go into a game to be able to see, like, okay, I'm playing with somebody who's Masters in this game. Like, that's the type of stuff I want to see. Even in casual play, I want to see the top league that somebody has accomplished or currently what they're in, because I think that would be awesome to be able to see that once we move forward.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think I'm happy to learn that there's going to be rewards.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, because one of my biggest beefs with ranked was that Smite Elo, and for those of you that have watched the Smite update, you can leave and get a drink because this is the old F.rant. Elo is a faith-based system, and I don't care what my number is. Bam! And that's why I didn't belong in ranked, because I just didn't care. And if you don't care, get the hell out of my ranked game and go play Anubis jungle and casual. But that's a serious note. You know, Elo is a faith-based system at this point in time.
Yeah.
For players like Wolfie, for players like Wolfie, players like Zapman, that you know, when they open up the client, you check the leaderboard to see where you're at.
Yeah.
That's a different world, and I respect that more than anything. I'm not bashing that. It's just not for me because I'm a greedy dude, and I want something for my time. That's all that is. When I log in and I see my number being like I was like number 5 in bronze, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm the Bronze League bully. I'm like 77-1. That doesn't make me feel good. Now, when do I get a skin? When do I get a little box around my homie? You could give me an icon that says douche, and I would still rock it because it meant something.
Yeah.
But it's just a number, so I didn't care. So I just didn't care. You know. Now Chris and Scott came out last update, and they was like, "Yo, we're gonna give out icons and trophies," and then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, I need to have that. And like, I actually think I'm going to become a better Smite player because they're going to offer me rewards for it.
Sure.
Like, flat out. I was very content with murdering terrible players at 7 in the morning on Thanatos. Like, that's how I got my kicks. Like, I would log on for first period, 7 a.m., talk for an hour and a half so I don't have to play with the horribles. And then at like 8:30, there I am with Thanatos going 27-3 because everyone's bad. And I had a great time. But now...
Of course you did.
Now I gotta play well because you're gonna give me rewards. All right, now we can talk. Because ELO is a faith-based system. ELO is, what I mean by that is ELO's only as important as you think it is. And the reason ranked worked was because the small community of professional players at that platinum, the diamond, I don't even know the order of it, frankly. That's how little I pay attention to it. They're the ones that sit there and they're like, nah, my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means something to me. You know, I watch Jeff Hindler and he's just like, yo, I want to be number 1, but I'm support, so screw it. Yeah. You know? And so... why does Jeff continue to play ranked? Because his friends are playing ranked, and that's a different story. But, like, he just didn't really care. Like, he wanted to be good. Jeff wasn't going to be content to be horrible because Jeff's a competitor. But at the end of the day, he wasn't, like, striving to be number 1. Honestly, Jeff just wanted to be higher than Payne. That was, like, his entire motivation, playing ranked. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, you see players like that, and if you got mixed in with the same crowd from casual and ranked, Jeff would have just played casual. Because he just wasn't that concerned, because it's just a faith-based system. You don't get anything besides bragging points for being higher than your boy. Now, you get rewards. Call me up. I like stuff. I like stuff. I want to play ranked.
Can I showcase it on my car when I load in?
Yeah.
I got my little gold baller icon right here that says, I'm better than y'all scrubs. Just because it reset this year doesn't mean I wasn't in Masters last year, bro.
You know,
about to get handled.
You know what Hi-Rez should really be implementing in is you should be able to customize your cards to show what you want on it and what you don't want to put on it. Like, I would love the opportunity to be able to show where I'm at in ranked or not show it, or show icons I want to show and not show it. You know what I mean? Like, be able to...
Octane just doesn't want to show the large amount of games and the low amount of kills.
You know what? You know what? All right. Moving forward,
idea.
you know what? Let's look till next week's show, and we'll see who's higher on ranked, me or F. Dot. Putting it out there. We're putting it out there, baby.
It's not even gonna be out by then.
Now, Wolfie, you don't count though, bro. You don't count. You can't get it on.
Wait. That actually gave me a great idea. No matter what character I'm playing, why can't I show off my tier swag on my
that's true.
loading icon?
That's true.
Like, why can't I just?
Yeah.
Why don't you see a little tier icon on the side? Because like, I am legendary.
Yo, yeah, I want every single time I play a god, I want to show off my nerd 3,200 Thanatos kills. I have 3,200 Thanatos kills. I am a no-life loser.
Tell everybody what level your Thanatos is.
33, I think.
Yo, I think you played Thanatos more than I played tier,
Jeez.
Dude, when Thanatos came out, I just played him. That's it. When Thanatos' legendary skin came out, I bought it the second I turned on my client. I had already been level 14. Like, I like my Thanatos, yo. I like my Thanatos.
So the only last thing I'm wondering about with leagues is, and if you guys notice with new systems introduced or things are reset like StarCraft 2 and League of Legends, is it's like this once the floodgates open up and you have people playing, you know, it's like the rush to get seeded into Masters. All of a sudden you could have somebody which is not really that good automatically get into Masters because they're on early enough when the gates open up. And then what happens is, and I don't know how it's going to work with the new system where if there's only X amount of seats, and then all of a sudden, let's say scumbag, you know, F. Dot here gets into Masters like real quick because he's on instantly. He wins a bunch of games. He's really a gold player, but he gets into that seat, and then it stops Woofy from getting into Masters because he doesn't play early enough. I'm eager to see how Hi-Rez deals with that. Like, now, granted, it'll fluctuate out, but if that guy doesn't play at all, let's say that guy gets to Masters and then is like, okay, I'm done playing for this season. What happens?
It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
For Masters, since it's percentile based, top 2% means that if F. Dot is sitting there doing nothing in Masters, he's going to drop out of Masters because he's not doing anything.
Perfect. Because I've seen systems
if you're not
very like this.
continuously playing to hold your spot, then you're not going to have the spot.
And that's perfect, and that's what I want to see. Because I've seen other systems within StarCraft and League of Legends where they do not go ahead and penalize you for not playing. And so that's perfect. I love it. I think that's great. That's awesome. And right there, Chris says in chat, there's not a number of seats. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, and also just pointing something out, Chris had mentioned earlier that there's going to be a lot of nice presents for people playing ranked. After I gave my ELO as a faith-based system that I have no faith in rant, he responded in spades telling us there was going to be rewards. But that problem that you just illustrated, I mean, that's going to happen, and the players will take care of it. Like, you're going to have a bunch of nerds that you've never heard about in Masters, and then Wolfie's going to play his 77 games a day because he's a no-life like me, and then he's going to be in Masters. Right, Wolf?
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's what's going to go down. You're going to have some nerd that had off that day, and he's just going to go ham, get lucky, play Bastet every game, and make it to Masters. And then the real no-life Creparians are going to come out, and they're just going to win everything, and then that guy's going to go sit in bronze and hold that. Like, that's what's going to go down. So, you know, I am not concerned about that at all.
This overall system is cute. It's way better than the last one.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do it.
All right.
Yo, Peckies!
It makes my life
Peggy's?
a lot better.
Top 10 ranked players should play in a show match at Worlds.
That would be awesome.
Now he has a reason to play.
I feel like that's a perfect show match though, compared to like as much as the YouTube show match. Okay, whatever. I'd love to see like that. Like I think that'd be perfect. Perfect
I would
situation.
love to see.
Yep.
I would love to see, and in complete seriousness, I think that's really cool. I would love to see a top-ranked, non-competitive player 5v5. Like, don't fly them out. They're crappers.
Sure.
Who cares?
Well,
But let them
wild-
play online. Let them play online and show it on the screen at Worlds, and just have like the. I'm trying to think of Wolfie. Help me out. Think of a ranked player that doesn't play on a team.
Peckies.
No.
Peggy's on a team now, though.
What? The
What?
New Revelation?
What? Resolution.
Ray! My man's Ray!
Yeah.
His team is pretty good too. We played against them not too long ago.
Really?
Zeus?
They did really well.
Pern doesn't have a team anymore. Pern.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, shots fired!
I'm not trying to be grimy. I'm being real.
He's got a
I'm
team.
looking-
Yeah.
They just lost.
I know. It's like.
Optics
I was
wasn't
like.
on a team for a long time.
There
and
you
he
go.
was a competitor.
Yeah,
He was
like-
a ranked player.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, when players of your skill level, when Zapman gets into a ranked game and he's like, oh, Moji, I'm so happy. You know what I'm saying? When you get into a ranked game and you're like, Madman Mark, before he was on a team, like, all right, sometimes Mark feeds. We all know that. But, like, he's got his good games, and I think Mark's a good player. You know, those players, those top-tier ranked players that don't make it in the competitive because they got no interest in being competitive or they don't have time or who cares, I'd like to see them play a game. That'd be cool. I'm down.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this, and this happens in a lot of games, team-based games. Just because a player is ranked doesn't mean they can play competitive.
Oh,
Some of the
that's true.
best
That's very
players-
true.
Different world.
Some of the
different
best
world.
players in League of Legends can't get past gold.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, they can't get past gold.
Very true.
Because they don't have the ranked mentality. They
Yeah,
don't.
Sure. I like it. I like it for sure. I mean,
They
not.
can play-
Yeah.
They can play in a 5v5 organized
Different world.
game, but the moment you put them in ranked with 4 random people, it was
Solo queue hell.
Shouts to Zelia.
like let's not even troll. For example, since TSM is part of this and everything, and I met Reginald.
Yeah.
I used to play League of Legends a long time. Everyone knows. Reginald, while he was on a top team at the time, his whole team was in 2200s, 2300s. They were all rocking. He was stuck in 1800s. He was playing in my games when I was really bad at the game. He was 1830 Elo, while everyone else was but he was in a #1 team. They would get top 3 every event. But he couldn't get past 1800 Elo.
Oh, jeez.
For those of you outside of the know, Reginald is of TSM fame, Team Solo Mid. They claim their claim to fame was League of Legends before they came over to Smite. That's why they're such a big deal. So yeah, no, I mean that's totally. It's a different dynamic. You know,
Yeah.
I think the mechanics are mechanics, dude. Like either you could cancel your animations, either you can land your combos, either you can blink fearless or you can't, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, and I say like I played with Kelly in the pugs and stuff, and Kelly's damn good when you have communication and etc.
Sure.
But she, when it comes to playing in ranked and stuff, she she's still good, but it's not as good with the communication. And I'm the same way. Like, if I have my team of 5s, it's just easy. I mean, honestly, it's just easier for everybody, but it's a different mindset. Like, I can play with 4 randos because I'm kind of a jerk and I think I'm a coach. Like, that's just how it goes. So when somebody starts feeding, I'm like, yo, bro, why don't you ease off? I'll try to shade over to your side, take a break, have some Gatorade, go get some food.
Nice guy, F. Dot. Nice guy, F. Dot.
Like, I try to coach you. And then you have people like, I don't know, my little brother's a rager in Call of Duty. Like, he plays like Search and Destroy and like the Call of Duty matches that aren't just like spawn every second. And he sits there like, what are you doing? You're trash! Stop queuing! I want to unplug your like, he's not going to do good in ranked. He's just not going to do well because those feeders are going to be in his games.
Sure.
And first of all, that's a horrible attitude. Don't bring that to my game. I'll kick you out of my community myself. But second of all, like, that's just
my community.
But second of all, I hate you, Fats. Second of all, like, it's just a different skill set. It's a completely different skill set.
Sure. So, Wolfie, I know you were raging to get in here. Was there anything else you want to comment on we talked about earlier? NAEU stats or
I know what he
results?
wants to talk about.
Osiris.
Yo, all right.
Have you played him, right?
I've seen some broken characters in my day. Oh my god, Jesus! Like, they took
I
ultimates
explained it pretty good.
from other characters and put it. Oh my god! What did any no? X-Fast didn't say something.
Okay.
Complete. No, Fats.
Thank you. Oh,
I'm sorry. It's a habit of mine. There's a lot of things that sometimes people aren't realizing.
Yeah.
His 3 reduces your damage done.
Mm-hmm.
That's done before mitigation. You know that, right? So he's reducing your damage by 50%, and if they have 60% mitigation, you're only hitting for like 30% damage. It is the only thing in the game that counters Titan's Bane and stuff like that.
I'm trying to find the damage you're about to deal because I can't see it. It's too small. It's just too small.
So he has his 16 damage mitigation, then he has his 70% reduction, and then
That's pretty good.
so the 100 that we're talking about, 3s?
That's what.
Then you're stunned? Like, okay.
Exactly. Like,
you know what? I'm with Mon Aster in chat. When are they buffing Osiris?
Right. That's just scary. That's just scary.
I honestly think you shouldn't lose 8 parts, because, like, there's only 2 arms. You should lose them at the same time. 2 legs, same time.
Yo, come
So
on
that's
now.
just
Come
4.
on now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ghost.
I don't care about the balance. I don't care about the numbers. If I get a Mr. Potato Head skin for Osiris, it's all I'm playing. I'm Gucci.
But I will say this. The character's not allowed in competitive play yet, so it really doesn't bother me for it to be that overpowered.
Exactly.
It's
And he's going to be
completely
insta-banned
fine.
before
It's
he's
cool.
broken.
Yeah.
I hope he gets nerfed. That's perfectly fine and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I will like to say thank you for the mid-cam change.
Oh, 2 to 3 minutes.
Do
Yeah.
not realize.
Can you
how
talk about that? Because I was a huge fan of the 2-minute mid-camp.
I enjoyed it.
This is probably the big because this changes the biggest game-changing point in the game. The biggest game-changing point in the game is 2 minutes, in my opinion. It is 2 minutes. Why is it 2 minutes? Because one team's gonna be level 5 at mid camps, and the other team isn't.
Yeah.
If that Poseidon or that Nemesis
We
or
saw it
that
today.
Bastet or that
today.
is level 5, and your jungler isn't level 5 or your middle isn't level 5, don't fight for mid camps. The enemy team has a huge advantage on you.
Sure. Yep.
They have advantages over your jungle fight, over your mid camp, and even the push in middle. And good players and good teams take advantage of this. The Annisters, the Shings, the Stealths, Glasses, they pressure you at this time. You be surprised. This is probably one of the biggest reasons why Zeus is banned more than not. Because at 2 minutes, if he's level 5 and you're not, you physically can't fight over those mid harpies. Guaranteed now, since they spawn at 3 minutes, everyone's going to be level 5, and you can build team comps around certain stuff now and counter it. It's going to make characters like Neith more valuable because Neith is going to be level 5 before the second mid camp spawn. She can guaranteed ult someone by that mid. But that also means your solo lane is going to be level 5 guaranteed, and he can rotate over. It's huge. It's a completely different fight.
That's awesome.
Totally, and that's a different area than I was going to. The reason I always loved the 2-minute mid camps was because, as a jungler, you get mid camps, you try to gank, you screw up. Well, you basically think of it like Mafia Wars. Smite is Mafia Wars. Bear with me.
I'm feeling the New York accent.
I'm ready.
I'm feeling the accent on this one. Bring it.
As a jungler, you get like 3 energy, all right? Okay? You get 3 energy as a jungler. You're going to spend 1 energy taking mid camps. Now you got 2 energy left.
Okay.
You can go get like a, I got to make sure I got to be careful about which fingers I put out. you go and you get like
top
maybe
Reddit post right
harpies, maybe you go get red buff, you do something, and then you gank. And then you roll out of energy because you got to make it back to mid camps. So what happened was you would go and it prevented the jungler from just like, hey, I can do whatever I want. I'm Kesha. Like, you kind of had to have a brain plan going on. Because you would get those mids, and then you would walk to solo, you would gank, and you would screw up the gank, and you're like, well, now I got to hold that for 15 seconds because mids are spawning. And it would force responsibility onto your jungler. You'd have to make sure you were going to get that gank. You had to make sure you were going to get that speed buff you were about to invade. Now with 3 minutes, I'm going to go gank solo lane. Oops, no big deal. I'm going to go get an ice cream and smoke a cigarette while I steal orange buff and then come back and get mid camps. So I feel like there's a little too much leeway, but I think obviously the competitive teams will make it a point to now there'll be another checklist for the jungler to do. Maybe you have to invade speed camp every time. Maybe you have to do that. As a competitive player, as somebody, without giving away too much, I understand it's high competition to get to that $50,000 regional tournament, but, speaking holistically and give us an overview of how you think the jungler's day-to-day checklist is going to change.
This is good because it takes the telegraph away from the game.
Okay.
Right now, you're giving a limited amount of options what you can and can't do.
Right.
And it's going to give the option for the smarter jungler to outplay the less intelligent jungler.
Okay.
Because you can do more things. You have more time. It also nerfs junglers. Believe it or not, it nerfs mid,
Yes.
Because
and
the amount of
junglers
XP.
and even supports. They
XP
get less
farm.
gold. They get less EXP. And it makes them choose between doing things because now it's like, okay, I probably do have to gank. Okay, I probably do have to show some pressure. But it's also going to buff kill comps because there's more pressure in the lanes because they have to stay there. You have to fight more. This is an indirect buff to Sobek. Because they want to fight in the lane.
I was just talking about Sobek being dead.
I was going to bring this up too. It's definitely a buff to the unpredictable junglers out there. Which means Snipe is going to win because Xing.
I love it.
So Xing is Wolfie plays on Team Snipe. The jungler's name is Xing. You could argue that Annister is better mechanically. You could argue that Cubo Fred is where he needs to be when he needs to be there. But Xing, you never know where the homie is. But every 2 minutes he's going to be in mid. Now that it's 3 minutes, Xing's going to pop up from behind your second-tier tower while you're picking your nose, and you're going to be like, damn it, Xing! And that's pretty much what Xing's game is built on. That's why I love to watch Snipe play, because Xing makes questionable decisions that work out well. And so does Allied. And then you just see Wolfie and Nick, now Jerby, like, oh, God damn it. Oh, man. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming.
That's exactly what it is.
Allied, Red, why are you ulting behind the tier tower? Because he's low! And then Sheik's like, no, I'm coming with the cats! And then you see Wolfie like, damn it, I need to stack my Doom Orb on hell. I'm coming though, you know? And then you work out. But so, you know, bring it back to the central point right here that I'm illustrating is that unpredictability for the jungler is getting a buff. And I love that. I've always compared the jungler to a free safety. He's just a dude that runs around and has to figure out where his talents are most needed. Either defensively, show up in the lane to prevent the push, offensively, show up behind somebody and booty spank them, or just hang out in the jungle and farm up a little bit, and now you have more leeway to do that. I like the idea of putting them in a box. You only get one piece of energy. If you fail, you lose, and you got to go back to mids. But now you got to think more. So those dumb junglers, they're just going to fall off. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I don't think anybody's stupid in the pro scene. But if you were on the up and up and you just kind of, like, it was kind of on rails previously, right, Wolfie? Like you had mid camps, then you either ganked or got something, and then you went back to mid. Now you got to think about your route.
It's telegraphed. It was extreme, and that was my biggest complaint about mid camps. It was like, yeah, there's more action, but why is there more action? You know what I mean? The person who, like, sure, it looks more like, oh man, explosions, yeah, but then you're thinking like, it's like, oh, 2 minutes, they have to fight over mid camps.
Well,
oh, this team's gonna win the mid camps. It's probably gonna lead to Gold Fury because yes, you can do Gold Fury in 2 minutes. People think you can't. You can do Gold Fury in 2 minutes. Don't get it twisted. That thing is very easy to kill at 2 minutes. Now it's like, oh, you know, they're not up yet. I can sit in solo lane for a little while. Or I could just hit it with the run back, go all the way back to get my other buff, gank dual lane, and then steal their buff.
Right.
Or I could just guarantee EXP staying over here. I can make the difference between this kind of opens the idea for lanes that don't do well. Let's say your mid lane has a terrible matchup. Terrible matchup. Let's just say
Scylla,
yeah, great. Terrible matchup.
Scylla's like picking her nose on the iPhone.
We have a jungler who can stay in middle for way longer because he doesn't have to fight over the mid and get her to the level where she fully clears.
Okay.
Same thing could be for dual lane. Let's say you have to deal with an Uller dual lane. Jungle has the opportunity to sit over there until they get to a higher level and can actually fight the Uller because Uller just does way too much damage.
Okay, Wolfie. I know you can roll your R's. Can you say Ulu like Dry Bear?
Uller. I don't know how he says it.
You sound like a
That's right.
parrot. What the hell?
I don't know how he says it.
I'm just making fun of Dry Bear. He likes to roll, and I can't
yeah,
say it.
it's that way.
Who cares?
It's just funny
cares?
because he sits there and he goes, you know, and here we are, we're having this intense conversation. Right, Tom. And coming to the dual lane, you have these two. Check out my YouTube channel. And as you walk down the dual lane, you look at these two. And right here comes the hunter. Ooh. And then we're going to go back to this other voice.
I'm also Hi-Rez now.
And you're like, what
Yeah,
are you
right.
talking about? Like, it just sounds so out of place. He's like,
plug.
da-da-da, American. Ooh. Like, he sounds like Cubo Fred for a second.
Yeah,
and then
right.
he goes back to the Dry Bear voice. Like, what are you doing? I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
All right,
And I can't do it.
So let's jump. You know, we're going to jump around a little bit here. I want to talk about some of the god changes we have going on, and we have Wolfie on it, and that definitely helps us out here. So, you know, little things here and there. We'll hit up Bastet last here, but one thing I want to talk about is Hell, and there's actually a correction, and I'm kind of surprised here. Corrected an issue in Dark Stance where the aura bonus to allies at rank 2 was giving 100% of the bonus rather than 50%. So she was pretty much better than what she actually should be.
And Wolfie's still fed.
Yes.
He don't care. He's better than us. He can do whatever he wants.
So, are you guys concerned about where that's going to put Hell now that we actually
No.
see the adjustment, or no? She's
I
gonna
don't think Wolfie even cares. Did you
No,
notice
no.
that? Did you notice
Her-
that?
Yeah.
It's a bug fix. It needed to get fixed. I'm perfectly fine with that. It doesn't change what she does or
Yeah.
how she's played. She'll still always have what she does better than other characters.
Mm-hmm. No, sure.
And
Which is not run away and get killed.
no, she's probably
Look how hard he's trying to
He's like, yes,
because
yes.
it's like Because like
No. Realistically, she's bursty,
amazing
right?
sustain and very unpredictable bursts and
Yes.
survivability. Very unpredictable.
Well, I'm going to make you hold that survivability. I think she's one of the easier to kill gods in the game. But I'm with you on sustain and burst.
Early on.
Okay.
Not
Once-
survivability, but sustain.
Okay, sustain.
Once you get to that late game and you get your stuff and you get your Aegises and you buy your defensive items, you think she's a squishy character, but you pop too much on her, you're not gonna kill her, and then you lose the team fight.
That's totally true. I've totally at every play. This is one of those like, you're a real Smite player if, and you've got in, you're like, no doubt, it's just a hell. You blow everything, and then you're sitting there with your Coke in your hand, and you're just like, well, I'm dead, and she's at 80%, but everything's on cooldown, including my teammate. What's going on? And she's just like. Yeah. So hell could be nasty, but hell has to be played correctly. I like that.
She's one of the hardest characters in the game. There's a few characters in the game that I put up there that are really difficult, and they're the only reason people don't think they're very good.
Dude, I'm terrible with her. I'll admit, I'm terrible with her. I mean,
obviously, it's terrible with everyone.
Shots.
Octane Pro myself is known to being the nice guy. But you're full of shit.
Get him!
Octane swore on Smite game. Octane swore on Smite game. Put it on the Reddit. Put it on the Reddit.
Right? Moving on. Let's talk about our boy Uller. So,
okay. What about Uller?
Let's talk. Okay, first off, we'll talk about the first thing. Base movement speed change from 370 to 360. I think it's a pretty big deal. I'll throw it to you fast. What do you think?
My man's got the escape of a god and the initiation from deep. I'm pretty sure getting hit in the ankles ain't gonna hurt him too much, but it's not gonna let him run away from everything.
Yeah.
Because currently, he can run away from everything, turn around, ask you a question, and keep it moving. Hit him with it. Keep it going. Check me out.
Anyway,
all right,
I think Bart illustrated this change absolutely perfectly. He's like, look, right now we're just gonna take 10 units off his movement speed, which makes him slower than every hunter, and then we're gonna nix his stun by it's gonna be 1.2,
1.4,
1.4 instead of 1.8. Yep. It's still a long stun.
Yeah.
But that's kind of his gimmick. Basically, look, I think Hi-Rez, and I don't know, this is all guessing from a player.
Sure.
I think Hi-Rez thinks it's important that Uller can hit you with at least one ability while you're stunned. Yes. And I personally think so too. Because if you could stun him, and then the person who's stunned just runs away from you, that's kind of like, well, why the hell did you stun? It's more of an interrupt than a stun. Yeah. So I respect that Uller wants to burst you in the stun, but that's aggressive. I think it's cool that Uller can stun you, hit you with a volley, hit you with a one, and then you guys can box with you already having a chunk of life taken away. It's problematic when he uses it defensively. When he turns around, asks you a question.
Yeah.
I feel more stupid already. But anyway, when it's defensive, when you throw the axe and then you can book it, that's kind of garbage. Yeah. So I like how they did it. I think he's very strong offensively, and that's fine. That's what he does. We've talked before on the show about how different hunters have different things that they do, but in general are
specialties.
Pretty. Yeah, they're specialties, but they're generally balanced.
They all have their little specialties.
And being able to combo you down is part of what Uller does, but being able to use that defensively was kind of ass.
Well, yeah, the disengage was ridiculous. But yeah, I'll go over. Let me just read off the second change here, and then Wolfie give his opinion. So the second change was the thrown axe. The stun duration, just as F.Dot had said, is going to go from 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, which is absurd, to 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So you're going to see the progression slowly occur there, and so we'll throw it over to Wolfie. What do you
before you throw it
over? Okay.
Just one thing real quick.
Yep, go for it.
One of the main issues with thrown axe is it's the same ability as his lane clear.
Yes. Yep.
Which meant he was leveling his lane clear, but also gaining a 1.8 second stun.
True.
That's
And
a
to
big
be
one.
fair, it goes slower now, so it's harder to hit, etc.
Yeah.
Wolfie!
But it's
Give us
still
your
gonna be
input.
defensive. But please, big man.
Okay, for one, I completely disagree that AD carries need this much. AD
Yeah,
carries are
I
the
do.
strongest late game characters in the game. They're
Yep.
not meant to be able to do this much damage with abilities or have that much CC. And I feel like that for
What's wrong with
every
100
AD
to
carry.
0 in 1.8 seconds? I don't understand.
The only AD carry in the game that I agree should have that kind of stuff is Anhur because he's a burst AD carry. He doesn't
That's
have
true.
a strong steroid. He doesn't have anything. This guy has steroids out the yin yang. He could do everything under the damn sun. He has mobility like Tyr.
Yeah,
And he just-
disengage.
He first of all, his stun should be 1 second.
Yeah.
Or even 0.8. It does not need to be 1.5 or 2 seconds.
So you don't like the scaling? It should be set stun
It
across
should
the board.
be 1 second.
Okay,
He
okay.
has no prerequisite except getting hit. It's his lane clear. It does damage. It's too much in one. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
His damage is gonna come from auto attacks. I don't even level my 3 on Uller. I level my 2 first because I play him in the solo lane. But if I stun you, I pop 2. I pop 3 or 4 auto attacks in you in the time that it takes for you to not be stunned. You're almost dead. It's
Yeah.
50 physical power from popping my 2 after I stun you. So it's like he doesn't need all this. The lane clear is fine because it doesn't do any CC. The stun, it's harder to hit and it is skill based, and that's why a lot of players lose on him because you're not always gonna land that one unless you're really good on the character.
Yeah.
But he's got escapes, he's got steroids, he's got everything he could possibly need, and then he has a 1.8 second stun on top of it.
Is that all?
What I mean?
Is that-
Yeah, if they would have just lower his stun, and then they'll probably have to look into his lifesteal and his melee stance and give him something else because that lifesteal is, that's the most underrated thing on him.
Very, very true.
I
agree.
have no,
Thanatos late game.
I can't tell you how many times people have tried to come. Like I've been ulted by Odins before, and the only reason I survive is because I'm not dumb enough to run away. I go melee stage, just box him out, and I come out with more health than what he did to me. It's like
Bring him out, bring him out.
like it's like wow, it's huge. He's my opinion, he's one of the scariest characters in the game because he has a high skill cap and he's very rewarding. It's just what he does.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about him.
Okay, well, let's we're talking about that. Let's move on to our man Zeus here. It's been a while since we've seen a change to him. Detonate charge, reduce damage from 60, 80, 100, 120, 140 to 55, 75, 95, 115, and 135 per charge. Also reduce scaling from 20% to 18% of your magical power per charge. We've seen Zeus get banned time and time again in all levels of play. F. Dot, what do you think about this change to the detonate?
Oh, I wanted first so bad.
Oh, you got first last time. F. Dot, what do you got?
That's right. That's right.
I
just want to
think
make
Zeus is still strong. Detonate is Zeus is inherently a problematic character because if you take away the burst from his detonate, he loses his identity. His whole gimmick is burst from the charge. That said, that has nothing to do with why Zeus is overpowered. It's all about the chain lightning. You're still getting murdered by chain lightning. So there's that.
Is that all? Is that it?
I don't know. I just see. So Zeus is, you can play around Zeus, but he gets banned because it's just too taxing to actually have to play around Zeus. Well, I mean, I don't know, dude. Zeus is rough. Like I said, Zeus's identity is the whole fact that he's a burst mage with the 3 charges, and that's how it works. And sorry, Hi-Rez, that you were creative enough to do that because now you can't balance him.
I know, he's too good.
You know? I think Zeus, and so I think the numbers are a lot. First of all, it's 15 damage because you have to multiply by 3 per charge. Yep. I think the damage will be different. We'll see. I don't think it's going to change him much in the picks and bans. I think he'll still be top tier. I'm still naming my talk show with Cret Ban Zeus. It's still a thing. It's not going to change. I like the direction this went in, and this actually bodes well for the future. I'm gonna let Fast and Wolfie talk about how they feel about this Zeus, but I want to say my piece on the methodology behind this nerf, and I love it. I don't think this nerf is going to change anything.
Okay.
But I'm much happier that they shaved off a little bit of damage and they're going to see what happens, rather than go, Zeus can only get 2 charges now. Rip Zeus, he's garbage. Like,
Rip Zong.
I very much prefer the tiny. I remember talking a little side tangent. I remember talking to a lot of the pro players at the Smite launch tournament, and Zion wasn't getting nerfed or picked, and I was like, why not? And they're just like, because that's just rude. None of us are picking him. Like, nobody just wanted to play against. Nobody wanted to raise their Zongers. But back on track with the Zeus. I don't think the nerf is good. I don't think the nerf is big enough. I think Zeus inherently is a problematic character to balance because of his identity and the way he works. But I like the methodology behind this nerf, shaving off little bits at a time rather than just annihilating the character and bringing somebody from top to bottom. So I like the methodology. I hope it continues in the future, and we'll see. But as Zeus stands, I think he's going to stay the thing. Keep banning Zeus.
Fats, what do you got?
Okay, since it's per charge, it's not killing any damage potential, really. 6% down on a detonate, 15 damage off a detonate. Doesn't matter once Ratatahuti's really done. You're still going to get melted if you stood in his ultimate. Like F. said, though, I really like that they're just trying to, all right, let's cut a little bit of numbers here, see how he does now. All right, a little more next time. Okay, maybe he needs a little more next time. They'll do it systematically instead of saying, he doesn't need CC immunity at all. No.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that heal too. No, they're just taking it down notch by notch to see what's gonna work. The same thing they did with Uller. Like, all right, let's shave some movement speed off and kill some of his stun potential. Let's see what he's gonna do now.
Nobody can say Uller right. Can we just agree to call him Earl?
Earl. All right, for the night, his new name's Earl.
His name is Sweatshirt. No problem. His name is Sweatshirt.
Sweatshirt, oh man. Wolfie's real name is actually Earl, so.
What's up, Earl?
You look like an Earl.
That's what I was about to say.
All right, so Earl, what are your thoughts on the Zeus changes?
I honestly think this is a bad change. I think it's the wrong area to touch Zeus on.
What would you change about him so he's not auto banned all the time?
You can't nerf his what makes Zeus Zeus. Zeus is a burst mage. It's like nerfing Kraken on Poseidon. You can't do it. The problem is that Zeus has little to no counterplay. There are things you can do around it, but there's so many things punishing you. The fact that you get a charge for auto attacking Zeus when he's using his 2
Aegis shield
needs to not exist. I was okay with him having immunity to movement impairing effects on his 2. I'm not okay with it reflecting damage, and I'm not okay with it putting a charge on me when I hit him. So as an AD carry, I'm expected to auto attack and land my auto attacks from max distance, but now I'm getting punished for hitting the Zeus.
Yeah.
I'm being punished for him playing that. You know what I mean? That's not fun to me. Or I'm being punished because he chain lightninged my teammate and it bounced off me 3 times, and then I get killed. That's not on me. That's on him. But I'm punished for it. That's what makes Zeus ban worthy.
Okay.
It doesn't punish you for your misplay, and that's the problem with him. Now, you don't want to nerf the damage because he's a burst mage.
Yeah. He is.
But you can take away these utility things like 50 protections. He doesn't really need that. A speed buff with immunity to the slows is more than enough for an ability. It doesn't need protections, return damage, and any charges. You can also easily nerf Zeus in the fact that the person needs 4 charges instead of 3 charges to get the same damage.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't nerf the character to shit. You know what I mean? He would still be a really good character. He would need to hit you 1 more time. Chain Lightning wouldn't guarantee you 800 damage. They would have to land an auto attack or an ult after.
I think one of the best changes they've ever made to any god was removing attack chain from Zeus. First of all, why the hell did you put it in the game in the first place? There's no
That was ridiculous.
That was just look how mad Wolfie is right now. Homie's just ready to hit somebody.
God.
It was so dumb. And like I keep saying, you know, and I like Zeus. I think the mechanic of stacks and detonate is awesome.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
pretty
mad
cool.
fun. And I'm with
It's a
Wolfie.
cool kit.
Just
It's a cool
let
kit.
it go up to 4, vary the damage because of it, and you know, don't make the shield apply a charge. I'm actually fine with the shield reflecting damage, but having it put a charge on
Yeah.
you, that's just stupid. And if you want to do that, put it on the ultimate. So that, like,
Okay.
Zeus gets, like, an Aegis, where he's just like, all right, you can't attack
He's
me for 4
standing in the
seconds.
ultimate. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because when he presses his 2, it's a complete disengage, otherwise you die. Because a 3-stack Zeus, 2 detonates with 3 stacks is your life bar. And that's how Zeus is supposed to work, and that's the identity of the character, and you can't take that away. But the second he gets you, he outplays you, he detonates with 3 charges, he starts stacking up on you again, and then you turn to attack him and he presses 2, well, what do?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do because his 2, the Aegis shield, is just a complete disengage. Give it on an ultimate on a huge cooldown because as a mage, he's extremely susceptible to death. So you give him the ability to like make people completely disengage on a huge cooldown. Now we can have a conversation. Reflect damage to me on your 2. Give him predictions on your 2. Let him run away from the cats with his 2. Let him teleport for all I care. Just don't have him add the core mechanic of his class, which is the charges when I do what I'm supposed to do. So I'm with Wolfie. Don't penalize me for being better than you. Get out of town. And more importantly, Chain Lightning needs a longer cooldown.
A longer cooldown, a shorter bounce range?
No,
Yeah,
leave the
really?
bounce range the same.
I think the bounce range is pretty
But-
big.
It is big,
It is
and that's
very big.
fine. Just play better. Spread out.
All right.
But
Oh,
that-
dude, like I said, by adding a charge, Chain Lightning will get nerfed because it wouldn't be able to fully detonate you.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
It would be a
Very
that'd be a big change because
So
think about it. If 2 charges would be less than 2 charges now. You know what I mean? And 3
Yeah.
charges would be a little bit above 2 charges now.
yeah, we're saying
Yes.
keep the damage equal. Just add another one.
Yes, disperse it and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool,
and you know, so I'm just gonna summarize real quick.
Okay.
Attention, the balance team out there, the extremely educated group of F.Fats, Wolfie, and Octane Bro. This is what we want. We want an extra charge.
We have a list.
We have a
No,
list.
no,
Let's cut it.
You
It's
must follow our
simple.
demands.
It's-
If
no,
you
no,
do
no.
not follow our demands, we will not play your game. 1. Ares must not be bad. 2. Venator skin that looks like F dot. 3.
No,
That's pretty good.
a New York Knicks jersey and a hat, dude.
Maybe like a little mono look to it.
And
That'd be
his
so
voice is
dope.
coming for you, boy.
And he's got the steel bat. Steel bat
That's
too.
his instead of what he says when he's going up, he's like, it's time to start this up. Flies up, comes down with a little bat too. Boom.
boom, boom, boom. But no.
That's pretty
We,
good.
I acknowledge that Zeus is incredibly hard to balance just because of the way he is. So we're just trying to help out the people that make the game that we love. Add an extra charge, make it 4 charges, make the Aegis shield, buff it for all I care. Just remove the charge applied on basic. And if you like that mechanic enough, put it on the ultimate. And that's all she wrote. That's all you got to do.
Royalties. Royalties paid to the 4 of us, please. Thank you for the
No,
changes.
I'm just saying because it's an incredibly hard to balance character because I love the idea of the character. And as Wolfie said, the whole thing is it's a burst mage. Like, you know, there's a reason Hebo wasn't nerfed for mad long because that's what he does. Like, he kills you in 4 moves. That's his whole gimmick. So what are you going to do? Take it away from him?
Yeah.
Like, no. You know, so you got to work around it. Zeus is hard, and I like the way we decided to fix it.
All right. Let's move on. A lot of people, I saw a lot of comments on this when Bart was going over the changes. And with Bastet, a lot of people were frustrated or surprised that we saw no changes at all to Bastet. And I see Wolfie's head go back. Wolfie, Bastet, What's up, bro? Look at you, see you laughing.
Nerf her to the ground, please.
Ah, man, listen. What they did was make sure that the 2 still hits you, but not. It still hits you.
So here's my problem with this. She actually became one of the scariest picks in the 200K pre-buff.
Yeah.
She was a high priority pick, and then she randomly got buffed to take away all her negatives. Now, I am a firm I want every god needs some kind of she doesn't have a negative. High scaling, high
She's
damage,
really
high
good
mobility,
now.
no punishment. The fact that her leap is instant now, and you can instantly leap back, I didn't know that was a bug. I thought that was as a, oh, hey, you have to watch out where you leap in. Yeah, you can CC immune back,
Yeah.
but you might die. Now it's like, oh, hey, I got it. I'm out for the tower even touch. What's up?
See, I like Zeus. That's her identity, and I think that was always the intention: the ability to get in, drop some stuff, be out.
That's a broken
But
concept.
not that.
Yeah, but that's like the cat drop. In, cat drop, out.
That's
done.
overpowered.
Yeah, it really
Is
is.
that
no
overpowered?
punishment.
There's no
Is that
commitment.
overpowered
Punishment.
Yeah, like
if
Wolfie
the
says,
rest
there's
of
no
the kit
commitment.
is changed.
There's no commit. There's
Yeah.
no risk versus reward.
Yep,
It's all
yep.
reward.
If you just change the pounce back to its old sort of slow pounce in, oh, they can move by now, and it takes me a while to jump back, that alone would be a good enough nerf.
That or a
Maybe
delay
they need to hit,
on the
They
return.
need to hit some of the scaling too, but that alone would make it easier to deal with her than, ha, boom, okay, what happened? What, cat?
Not to
What?
mention she gets all her abilities off like that. Her abilities used to have a cast
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
on them.
What about
3
all
took
instant.
8 years.
if she leaps
Her
into
three-
it?
I agree.
years.
Her 3 was the one that needed a buff. Her 2 should have stood the same, and her 1 should have stood the same.
Yeah,
And in case nobody knows, you can leap back off of like majority of the abilities that you couldn't anymore. Like before, you couldn't leap back in the middle of tiers 1,
Mhm.
which was huge, and you couldn't leap back during like Hercules' push. When it first hit you, you couldn't leap back on the way. But now you could just leap back middle of the damn thing. Just go back.
What's the timing on if you leap in within
That's 'cause they
within
changed
tower
it.
range, you pop cats and leap back? Will you get hit by the tower if the tower's focusing you, or are you that
don't
quick
know.
that the tower doesn't hit you?
Cats, no. 2, yes. You can drop your 2 before the tower hits you. The cats actually, she has to do like some little thing like this, and then the cats spawn, and then
See,
Okay.
that I think is where the change needs to happen.
Yeah.
Playing old Bastet, it just felt clunky, and I'm going to use a GM Brandon word.
Uh-oh.
The game needs to feel like water. Any
Okay.
game that you play needs to
I
feel
know water was a
fluid.
DM
It
word.
Oh, actually, here's an easy thing. She can't jump back when she's knocked up, and cripple affects her leap back.
I
Okay.
feel you on
Well,
that. But my whole thing is the change to the pounce didn't feel like a buff. It felt like a bug fix. Because when you jump
That was a
in,
huge buff.
no, it was a buff. No,
But
I'm
it
not
didn't
saying
feel
it's not a
like
buff. How dumb do you think I am, Wolf?
I'm just saying. When I first played the leap in and then leap, I'm like, oh wow, Hi-Rez put like a negative on this. Like, I'm like, yo, this is smart. That like it sees the immunity, but you can't instantly go back. There's a negative. I was like, this is awesome. Shing was complaining about it all the time. I'm like, Shing, you're retarded. This is a good thing.
Nah,
This is
see,
balanced.
it felt
Now
clunky,
Shing is like,
and it felt very gamey, and that's a word that I hate when I'm playing games. All right,
okay,
give me a sec.
Go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead. I
you
respect
got
your
some
opinion.
time.
I want it
respect
to
your
feel natural. When I press a button, I expect a response. And when I'm sitting there and I jump in and I press a Q over and over again, and my cat's like doing the robot because she needs to wait 0.8 seconds before she can jump back or something, it feels like bad design.
Okay.
I agree that it worked out balance-wise, but it just felt bad to me as a player. Like when they did all that post-hit delay changes, and everything just felt better.
Yeah.
That's
Quality
how I
of
felt
life.
about Bastet Leap. It just felt crappy. Now you fix that, and now all of a sudden we got a problem on our hands. Add a cast time to the Razor Claws. Add a cast time to everything else. Don't let her like 1, 2, 3, 4 out. Don't let him press 1, 2, 3, 1, and then everybody's happy except the people that are dead. You know, that's not fun. Fix the cast time on the 2 and 3, but leave the pounce the same because it feels more fluid, and that's the name of the game. I don't want to play a game that reminds me that I'm playing a game. I want to play something very natural, and when I press a button, I want a response.
So what do you
Okay,
think?
so
Go ahead, Fast.
so hit the scaling on the 1, leave it like it is. And the 3 used to have what I would call the wind-up pitch, where it took her half an hour to think about where she was throwing it, where you could press 3, do a 360, and then it would come out.
Like cricket pitches? You ever see cricket pitches?
Huh? It took her a long time to get it out. Like, you could jump in with your 1, and because it used to have that time before you could jump back, you could just charge up your 3 during that time and have your timing perfect to jump back.
Yeah.
The 3 was just like I hated the 3 when I played Bastet, but because whenever I hit somebody, I felt like I was the man because it took forever to make it work.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, daggers. Daggers. I'm a ninja. Daggers. Just throw them. So it doesn't matter. You jump in, you throw knives in somebody's face, you jump out. Who cares?
Yeah,
I think the pounce especially needs to be hit in its scaling because it applies the passive, which is a bleed. So what you're doing is you're jumping in for X amount of damage, bleeding them, and you could jump out, and their HP is like, what, where'd you go? I can't counter this.
Yeah,
you just hit me by using your escape, and it did so much damage. See what I'm saying?
All right, I've been corrected by chat. I apologize to all our hardcore cricket fans.
I know, right? Apparently we have a lot of them.
No. Cricket is very popular in India, the Middle East, and actually in the UK. Cricket's a lot more popular than a lot of other sports. Yep. Hey, that's traditional sports. I'm a sports nerd through and through.
Yo.
Yeah. My man,
Pakistan's cricket team looks nasty this year, and I'm not making that up. Fight me at PAX.
My man.
All right, but let me just correct myself.
Right,
you bowl in cricket, not pitch. You're 100% correct. There you go.
All right, cool. So, any last comments on Bastet?
Wait. Wolfie got you.
All right.
We do have to. I think we have to disagree on this.
Okay.
Purely because this is probably just me being an old school MOBA player.
Okay.
But I still don't agree with having an ability that has no punishment to it.
Okay.
The leap has no punishment to it.
I'll agree with that.
There's no counterplay to it. I don't like the
Would you like it if it did 0 damage?
No.
Okay.
Then she wouldn't have
it. She's a burst damage character.
Well, no. So if the leap did 0 damage, still applied the passive and let Razor Claws and stuff do its work, and you could still be bursty, but the pounce didn't do inherently damage.
No, I think that would hurt the character. I think it would hurt the character's playstyle as it is. I think there needs to be some sort of punishment for leaping in as an assassin.
Okay, if
an assassin, you should be punished.
So if she leaps in, do you think during the leap in, that stage between the leap in and the leap out, do you think there should be adjustments to the other abilities and the delay of when they can go ahead and go off? So what I mean by that is you jump in, and all of a sudden your 2 and 3 have a little bit more of a delay than what they did naturally being played just during that stage, so that there is some commitment into that fight compared to jumping back.
I think since after I wrote a point that it feels more fluid to be able to leap back immediately, which is fine. But I think there needs to be more of a response. There needs to be more abilities that Bastet can't escape.
Okay.
If she leaps in and Poseidon drops a whirlpool,
she can't get out.
She should be screwed.
Well, that's true.
If Skilla like hits her with a cripple, she should be screwed.
If who?
Skilla.
Thank you.
Oh, come on. It's Scylla. Get out. Get out.
You know what? It's fair. It makes sense. It does make sense.
No, I like that. I like that. I mean,
go ahead.
And that and Tears Fearless and knockups in general.
Okay.
So if she leaps in, Wukong hits her with a knockup and then a 2, he should be able to outplay the Bastet and screw her over for doing what she's trying to do.
Well, it rewards the opponent for going ahead and intercepting her. So I completely agree. I mean, I think I think when they went ahead and made the change to cripple some time ago, like they made cripple like so good, but yet it doesn't affect her in that way. So I actually agree with you. I think that's a really good change. I think that would be very effective, and it would very much punish you for jumping in on a Poseidon who is very squishy as a mage, and then popping that whirlpool, and all of a sudden, hey, Bastet, you're committed to be right next to me, and I can go ahead and pop my Kraken, and all of a sudden you are punished for jumping in on me. So that's why we have Wolfie on the show. That's why we have Wolfie on the show.
No, it's not. You can make fun of him feeding in the solo. How's that do more of hell working for you, Mr. 0-5?
You know what? I'm not even mad about the do more hell. I was more mad that I had to play Vamana. I hate that.
Oh, come on.
No, what are you talking about? This is mad hard.
I know it is.
Wait, my bad. You gotta press W at the same time.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right.
Man.
So outside.
Auto run right on the mouse button though. Like, who cares?
So this is my auto run button, this little one.
Okay.
So I just go boom, boom. That's all I do. That's how I play Vamana. That's how I play Bakasura, and that's why I don't play him.
You mad?
So outside of God changes there, just little things to go ahead and talk about. Not really a ton of talk about them, but in Assault you can now go ahead and purchase a reroll. So for a lot of those people that do play Assault, that's pretty exciting there. Get out. Selected God, you can go ahead and reroll for 250 favor or 25 gems in the match lobby. I don't know how much I like this. I'll throw it to Fats though. What do you think, Fats? Do you think
It's
kind of
fun.
Okay.
For people who like to play Assault and they're like, oh wow, I don't even know how to play this god. All right, I'll spend the favor I use from playing matches to do it. And for people who have fun, like it's an extra choice to do things. I just don't think you should be able to reroll.
Yeah, one reroll and you're done.
One, and you're like, okay, I'll hold that.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Oh no, I got someone I don't like. Click. Now I'm Bakasura. No.
I mean, it's good and bad because I like the fact that
but it's risky. It's worth the risk. If you think you're gonna do worse with this one character out of 52, and they're gonna give you somebody you're even worse with, that's on you for dropping the money.
Yeah, I mean, first off, it's a way to go ahead.
Gambling.
It's a way to use your favor. No one's going to use their gems, but I think it's a way to use your favor for sure. All of us have so much favor. And then on top of that, part of me, though, doesn't like it because I like the fact that it forces you to play gods that you wouldn't traditionally play. And I like that because it forces people to go ahead and do that. But at the same time, I understand the reroll. Okay, whatever. It's kind of a, just like in WoW, they had like gold sinks, way to force you to spend money. It's the same thing. It's kind of a favor sink.
Assault is the one where everybody's in the circle and they fight, right?
Oh, dude.
No, Assault is the one where they have like the medieval archers that go down.
Chat, you can flame the crap out of this kid, okay? He acts like he doesn't play these things. He acts like he doesn't play them.
He actually doesn't.
Let me check my account. Let me check my account real quick.
Assault.
Let me check my account.
Okay, I will remind you that the competitive part of Smite is the 1%. I think it is. I think Hi-Rez says the 1%.
The top 1%. Woo! Esports.
So
I have 7 games of Assault.
Fats,
Did you know that
do you play a decent
Assault?
I have
more Assault than you.
I have 1,095 wins in Conquest and 7 games of Assault.
Wolfie, do you play Assault from time to time?
I usually hang out with people at nighttime.
Okay.
I go to random people's streams and
sure.
I play whatever just cause. So I do play a bit of Assault and a bit of Arena and all the other nonsense.
Wow.
But
even competitive players do that, huh? Interesting.
Oh yeah. After a long day of ranked, I don't even want to try anymore. I don't want to think of this. I don't want to deal with the 1 a.m. ranked players. Are we gonna play Arena? Yes.
What is that?
Oh my word.
It's a different version. It's a fun mode.
Oh wait, the Alienware Arena Cup?
Yeah,
Now
did
I
you
know
cast
what you're
that?
talking about.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Win it the first time?
That was. You know what?
nice.
That was actually fun.
Yeah.
And it was a different set of pace. Now, obviously, it wasn't as balanced as it could have been. Because it's not really explored in the competitive scene as much. But I think, and I said this before, and I said this to my team and everything, this was the only game where you can actually have a tournament in the other game mode because it's third person. It's the only game that could do that.
Very true.
So whenever I play these things, I look at the balance because I'm a competitive player, whatever the hell. But it's like it was a nice change of pace. You can see
Yeah.
what teams are really good at team fights, what teams are really good at on the fly,
Mhm.
and how
Sure.
they could just figure things out, or
Did
if they
you-
got past the landing phase. What's fine? Yeah, I snap. I'm okay.
No. Did you watch the COG stuff?
Cog strats, bro.
All right, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
there with
yeah, that was
Brandon
ridiculous.
dancing the
Funniest
finals
thing
for
in
the
the world.
Alienware Arena Cup, right? And they're doing this thing where they're like, they have this brilliant strategy where they're gonna mass up the minions because each last hit on a minion in arena, I always do the on her basic attack, by the way. Like it's just in my brain. So like, you know, each last hit on a minion gets you a ticket. So what they're doing is they're like, all right, we're going to zone them out. We're going to prevent them from getting last hits. And then Anderson's sitting there, I will not let you fall, healing the minions. And you're like, what are you doing, bro? And me, you know, so arenas usually last like 20 minutes. Homies made their finals go 40 minutes long. We're sitting there like, what the hell are you doing? Andy's healing the minions so they're not losing. So we ask Omega after the game. Like, you know,
It was awesome.
you know, we understand
No,
strategy.
before you
That's
say
why
that-
we do what we do. Go ahead, Fats.
Before you say that, don't forget that the enemy team had a Poseidon who can whirlpool clear the entire
Oh,
wave.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So whatever they were healing was just getting negated like that.
Oh, yeah. And
So
so,
we'll continue.
so we're sitting there, and, you know, DM and I are like, you know, we understand this game pretty well. It's why we do what we do. You know, we're not the best players in the world, but we get it.
Okay.
I don't get this. So after the match, DM goes and he asks Omega like, yo, so, you know, if you don't want to tell me, that's fine, but like, what was the gameplay? You know what Omega said to me, Wolfie? We don't know what the hell we're doing. This is arena. By the way, they won.
Yeah, I know.
One ticket. One ticket.
They actually prepared more than any other team because we didn't play much arena either,
Okay.
and they went hard on practicing on arena. They went against some EU teams and everything,
Yep.
and they just simply deserve to win more than the other teams, except maybe the team they won against in the finals,
I
which
feel you.
deserved to win just as much. They
Okay.
practiced, and that's why they won.
I do want to, you know, I have no idea why we're going over the Alleyway Arena Cup, but
It was
I
fun.
think it's really cool that we had some alternative exhibition content in between the seasons.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
now that we have the whole qualifiers and all this,
Yeah.
don't take over my weekends. This is my esports weekend. Let me like root for teams for real, you know. Alleyway Arena Cup 10,000, you know, Alleyway came through, was like, yo, here's 10,000. Throw it to the dogs, do something different, have some fun. And that was cool. And if we have like an all-star break, or if we have like, you know, a like League of Legends does it, all professional sports do it, where there's like a break in the regular season, if we have something like that, I would love to welcome another exhibition content, whether it's Alienware or somebody else. Give us an arena tournament, give us a siege tournament, give us something like that lets us just
I'm
break
trying to
from
win
the
Siege
monotony,
already.
stuff like that. Like, you know, give us something, throw some money down, let people go ham and do something different. Because while I will always be conquest only, esports to the max, hashtag esports, SWCS, etc., I don't mind a little break if there's a reason to break. So
You know,
I liked it.
You wanna know how I feel about the whole situation? I wouldn't be opposed to them even experimenting with tournaments that had multiple game modes in one game. Best of 3, you have one game where
Like
it's
Call of Duty?
conquest,
Ooh, yeah.
like Call of Duty.
It's like a
one
map.
game
Your map
could
change.
be like
Yeah.
the loser's choice is arena, assault, or conquest, and the third
Oh.
game. You see what I mean?
That could be
I
a
would
really
like
fun
to
tournament.
do
That'd be a
That
really
could
something
be
fun
like
tournament.
fun, but for that,
Try
I'd
that.
like it if round of 32, arena, round of 16, conquest,
that's a different way.
I'm
round
down
of
to-
8, siege,
Well,
round of
what Call
4.
of Duty does is Call of Duty will do like
I know,
a best
yeah,
of
yeah.
5, and then they just
Yeah.
mix and match game modes. You know,
Yeah, because that's the only way to make Call of Duty competitive is play all the actual game modes that aren't, you know, team deathmatch all the time.
Can I buy
Only
a
way to make it work.
DTF?
Only way to make it work.
Can I get a capture the flag Smite game mode?
That would be
That
baller.
I would play
That would be
that.
baller.
That
Yeah.
would be broken because
Yes, it
of
would.
Mercury.
All right, all right.
That,
All right,
Apollo,
all right,
Thor.
Some abilities.
Apollo.
Some
You'd have-
abilities will make
yeah.
you drop the flag.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Some
you know.
actives would make you drop the flag.
So
Yeah, I
ults
like
make
it.
you drop the flag.
Yeah.
But it would be fun.
You
I
know
don't
what?
care if it's
I think it's an
balanced.
excellent idea.
It would be
Yeah,
fun.
forget it. Forget balance. Because right now,
It would be
playing.
fun.
I was playing Siege. Man, that game mode, you pick 5 characters, and that's the has everything.
Yeah.
There are 5 gods you can play in
I actually
Siege
played
and
it this
spread
morning.
by yourself.
It was fun.
It's so fun though
All
that
right.
it doesn't even matter.
I still want King of the Hill.
I'm down too.
That'd be cool.
Give me,
We gotta
give me
jump.
my
Let's jump up the hill. Let's jump up the steps.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
where it's a third-person MOBA. You can do these.
Yeah.
Me can't do it because the
Hold the
doesn't
phone.
allow you.
Stop it. Pure Chaos X from chat from Swotor Hutball.
I'm down.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Let me fill in the masses what this is.
1 second.
Hutball is just football. Basically what happened, it was 8-on-8 because of the way Star Wars works. Who cares? 5-on-5, 10-on-10. Who cares? Ball spawns in the middle. It's the ball spawns in the middle. There are various like fire traps, acid traps, whatever. The goal is to get the ball from one end to the other. You can pass the ball with another. You can pass the ball with another keybind. So like let's say you get 1, 2, 3, 4 on your abilities. 5 now passes the ball when you pick it up to your teammate. Make it to the other side without getting your face smashed in by the enemy. Oh my God! Like it changed my idea of MMO PvP, and I want them. Dude, Hutball was one of the best experiences of my entire online gaming life, and if you brought something similar to Smite, I might have to hold that on the Conquest exclusivity.
F that. I don't know
Yeah.
if you noticed this, but I used to play Star Wars, and there's actual like VODs of me playing Hutball, and then as I would score on people, I would do touchdowns.
Walk backwards?
They were to kill me. I'm like, yeah, got him.
Oh yeah.
No, we used to. So I mean I used to dominate because that's the type of stuff like because listen, and bringing it down a second. The reason why I like Conquest over Arena and Assault and the other modes is because you need more than one skill set to win the game. If you want to win Arena or WoW Arena or MMO PvP
Sure.
or anything like that, you just have to press your buttons better than the other person. That's what it's about. That's what Arena's about. Yeah, sure, there's minions, and you just have to press your buttons better. When it comes to Conquest, sometimes the mechanically superior team loses because they got all the brawn but no brains. You got to have 50% push your buttons mad good and 50% outsmart the other dudes, right? There's this intangible that you have to win at Conquest.
Yeah.
And Hutball does the same thing.
All right.
It doesn't matter if I am God's gift to animation canceling.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I know how to press my buttons better than everyone else. If the enemy team is going to Deion Sanders my face and just play better because they're a better team, then I should lose. And that's the type of mechanics that make a solid game.
All right. So, oh my God, after that huge rant on either way, we all agree we'd love to see a tournament that has a variety of best of 3 with different custom games. I think that'd be really cool. With some of the other modes, that would be awesome. We'd love to see it maybe off season, between, make it happen. I think it's awesome. Last thing I want to talk about before we talk about our new game mode, as we're talking about a lot of these other game modes is, and I think this is important because I run into it from time to time. I know you guys do. The download size of the game for new users has been optimized. The worst thing in the world about Smite was going ahead, downloading Smite, and then spending 5 hours patching your game because they didn't go ahead and have that all wrapped up into one downloadable package. So thank God for doing this. I think it was extremely necessary, and it's the worst. For example, I'm going to a LAN party in a few weeks. We're going to be playing Smite for reals, and we got people that are going to be dude, shut up, you. We have people that are going
to trying to picture you at a LAN party. What is it? You and like 5 other dads just hanging out, drinking milk.
Drinking milk.
I hate you.
Guys,
you.
let's get our last match of Smite. It's 10 o'clock. I gotta go to bed.
He's honestly just slandering you so hard, and I don't want to be a part of this. I really don't, but I can't stop it because it's hilarious. Like this is like 3rd grade Pokemon cards. My man has the Gyarados, and you're out here with Caterpie. You're just getting slandered. Did he leave?
I'm back. I'm back.
He's just
I had to cool off. I had to cool off.
Oh my god!
I almost put a hole in the wall. You don't understand.
You had to cool off. With that joke?
I hate you. I hate you. I truly hate you. So,
He set it up.
back to my comments. I
Smite
am
update.
pleased to hear that they're optimizing the game finally. It took you long enough. Moving on to things that are a little different. F. You're an asshole. Moving on. Siege mode. Siege mode. Siege mode. So I'm gonna throw it over to Fats here. Let's talk about siege mode for sure. It was brought up a little bit. I know F. Loves talking about this, but let's talk about
bring
siege
it to me
mode.
last, because I have balance changes I want to suggest.
Balance changes already. They just go ahead and bring it forward. Okay, so we'll talk about siege mode here. So let's go ahead and bring it up. So siege mode, pretty cool. Let me go ahead and bring up what our map looks like here for you fine folks at home, if you had a chance here. So we have our map going on here, and it's pretty sweet the way it works out with the siege towers. You also have as well, on top of that, you have the middle kind of Silver Fury, and your two Phoenixes on each side. I have not had the pleasure of playing this yet. I was away all weekend, but I want to go ahead and go over, I did have the opportunity to see some of the gameplay, and on screen is some of the screenshots that were taken by the community on this new map. The minions have a different look to them as well. They've been up to date with the game mode as well, so you can go ahead and see everything going on there. So just a few pieces of clip art. You see the Titan of Order there. Same thing with the Titan of Chaos on the opposite side. And, so Fats, you have played this game mode. I have not. Tell us a little bit about the game mode, the basics of it, and then we'll go ahead and go into, some of your changes that you want to see before it goes ahead and hits the real servers.
All right, I suggest you put back up the mini-map so I can just explain. The current meta is this.
Yep, go for it.
Ward the opposite side of the siege minion.
Okay.
If they try and take it, kill them and take it. That's it. Or the cheese strat, which is everybody get hog, and one person get hog 3.
Everybody hogging. Everybody hogging. Everybody hogging.
That's it.
Everybody hogging.
No, but it's fun. I mean, it can be made competitive if they make tweaks to it, but right now, as it stands, it's like really fun because it's all team fights in these small areas where it's like, oh, here's an Ao Kuang. Oh, I can't go anywhere. Oh, look, Hobble around the corner. All right, I'll hold that. Oh, Bastet's here? I didn't know she could do these things. It's frantic, chaos, fun, but my only problem from a balance perspective is the towers don't scale effectively. The siege minions, I guess, they just, hey, it's 20 minutes in, the game mode should be ending. Oh, nope, never mind. Every siege game I've played this weekend has lasted upwards of 30 minutes, except for the 2 I played yesterday.
Isn't that the antithesis of what Siege is supposed to be?
It's supposed to be mad fast.
Yeah, Siege is supposed to be about 15 minutes.
Yep.
But because
of
how
mix.
the towers scale, and because the jungle buffs, I think there should be more jungle buffs, and they should spawn faster.
Okay.
So you have more points of contention and more fights.
So it's more of a fast-paced game because I know that's what they were looking for. They were looking to kind of change
as
up.
it stands, the siege towers, siege minions don't do enough. Like if you get one within the first 3 minutes, which you will, because you'll go ahead and do a 5-hog start for like free, or you can just release it to like 4 tanks and not care. You can do that at the beginning because the siege spawn of the Silver Fury spawns at 0. As soon as the game starts, it's there, which should be fixed. But as soon as you get the siege tower within the first 5 minutes, that's a guaranteed tower unless they have 4 people defending that, which means 5 of your team can be in the other lane and push that tower in.
Wolfie, have you had a chance to play it at all or no?
I have.
You have. What do you think?
Fun though, right?
What do you think?
It's reckless.
It's fun. It's actually a lot of fun.
Okay.
I played Poseidon on it,
Okay.
Oh, God.
and he's ridiculous on that, man. Holy.
So is there
you
certain
saw-
are there certain gods that are like the
Yes.
must-have gods for
I
Siege
can give
Mode?
you
Yes.
the top 5.
All
I
right,
can
give it
you
to me.
top 5.
Give it to me.
Nemesis is dumb.
Okay.
Bastet is dumb. Poseidon is dumb. Chalk's rain dance makes no sense in certain parts of the corners. Obviously, Osiris is the dumbest thing on the planet. And Freya's cool. I mean, she's still Freya.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Shibalanke though. My man's is actually home field advantage as hell. Just pop ult, boys come out the jungle like, what's good? Just kill you. It's dope.
All right.
It's a really fast and fun game mode, and the reason I like it, and it has nothing to do with the game mode and its balance, is because new players who come in and they play this mode will have an easier time transitioning into Conquest than the people who played Arena and Assault the whole time.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
That's so big for someone like me, so people don't randomly come into Conquest like, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm in your game, I didn't mean to do it. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be in my game, so I'm sorry for raging at you. So it's fine, but I like that about it. There are some balance issues. I was noticing the balance issues around the Harpy. That's the big issue. The balance issues around the Harpy.
As soon as that thing comes up, it's a fight.
Yeah, you're forced to be there. And then, believe it or not, I find this jungle more fun to play in than the Conquest jungle.
Really?
Because it's so tiny.
Really?
It's not only that it's tiny. There's
lanes are the total size.
around.
Is it lanes or the total size? Like the lane, the width.
The size
or the
is super small.
Okay.
That is a small jungle, and all
Have you ever played QZAR?
Are tiny.
Nope.
Of course you haven't, but
Oh my word! I only play real games, bro. I only play real games.
Have you guys ever been to QZAR? Like laser tag indoors?
Yes, I know what that is. I know what that is.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Well then,
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Because you're just chilling. You're like in this little like nook and cranny of the jungle.
You're
like
for somebody to hit the corner, and it's like, bow.
What's it like?
Bow. Bow.
You know who's actually secret god tier in that game? Because TV showed me this. Nuwa is the dumbest thing on the planet.
Yes.
You can fog if you build full cooldown. You fog across the entire map and just clay minions. I killed your Phoenix. I'm gonna do it again when I respawn. Over and over again.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's so fun because if they just make tiny tweaks to siege minions now scale better and they don't die in 5 hits at end game.
That's good.
The Silver Fury doesn't spawn at 0, which means first team fight guarantees you it. That needs to be like a 3-minute objective.
By the way, you just brought that up, and this is something that can happen at Conquest, and I know there's some Hi-Rez people in the channel, I just want to say this anyway. If you want to get rid of the requirement to have Hog at the start of the game, stop the Ogre buffs from spawning at level 1. You'll end the whole Hog meta. Okay, sorry, you can go back to you.
Interesting.
So,
I'm trying to. I like that. Where are we going with that?
I'm gonna tune into this. I'm gonna chime in on this siege thing. Right. So it looks really pretty. Shout out to all the artists out there.
Yeah, it's so dope. It's so dope.
Yes, it looks awesome.
And I mean, like, I'm a jerk, so everything sounds sarcastic, but I'm actually 3,000% serious. I think it looks baller, and I want to trade the art from Conquest.
Pete. When you play on the right map, when you play on the good side, it's mad colorful. Like you're in like the nice part of the jungle, and when you're on the dark side, it's like, yo, what?
You came from
Brooklyn. Jumping
out this just straight hood area.
Jumping in the hood.
No. If you guys have ever been to Fordham, okay, Fordham is an Ivy League school.
Yeah.
Fordham is an Ivy League school located in the middle of the Bronx. So what happens is you have this beautiful Ivy League school and everything that comes with it. The clientele, the people, the beautiful storefronts with nice little lamps that look like they're from 1800, and then you walk 2 blocks too far, broken chain link fences, pit bulls calling out your name, babies on the corner, like it is the dirtiest, and that's basically what Siege looks like. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's beautiful.
It's honestly,
and I really, I think a lot of the art in Smite is pretty on point. And I'm an art nerd. Like I went to art school. You know, like I like art. All right. The art from the Siege stuff is amazing. So please give a round of applause to the artists at Hi-Rez. Fantastic stuff coming out. I really like that. And I want to piggyback on what Wolfie said before about it being a nice in-between. You know, so like for the people that just want to, like, cares to the win, go play some Smite, you got Arena, you got Assault, you have all that. But when you level up to 30 that way and you master 14 gods because you played Arena and then you mosey on into rank, you're like, what? Siege is sort of like Conquest Light. There's not any of the high-level, conversations about strategy and X, Y, Z, but teaches you how to lane, teaches you how to dip into the jungle, teaches you how to contest over contested stuff like the Silver Harpy, teaches you how to siege push. Like, it teaches you a couple of things. Now, it's not directly translatable, but it's good enough where you have a little bit of an idea instead of going into, like, I played with my lower level friends that I just introduced Smite to.
Okay.
And there's 4 dudes fighting in the middle of the middle lane because that's what they do in Arena. And I'm like, nah, B. Nah. And then we maintain the meta, and the dudes with 4 people in the middle win because they kill our whole middle lane. Like, it just doesn't work out, and you need some sort of training wheels. And if they're not going to put, like a tutorial that walks you through that, I think Siege is the next best thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be very cool, and some people might hate me for this, but for new players to be able to have to walk through each game mode. Last game mode's Conquest. I think it'd be kind of cool for a new player.
That's how it is right now. I mean, you have to play. What is it?
Really?
Practice.
Okay.
Practice Assault.
Okay.
Then you have to do co-op 3v3.
Okay.
And then I think it's practice Arena as well.
Okay. I haven't been a new player in like year and a half, so I'm not sure that process.
I made a smurf because
perfect. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
A lot of new players into the game.
Okay.
I was looking at the stuff and I was seeing what the community at the lower level is.
Sure.
I just wanted to like say, hey, this is Smite. I'll help you guys learn the game.
Oh, nice guy, Fats.
Yeah, garbage. You picked Thanatos and then you go 50
I don't
and 1.
play Thanatos. I just had a Guan skin and I played Guan Yu.
Yeah.
Oh, Guan skin.
And I went, 17 and 3, but I helped.
I would have been straight scumbag. I would have been
scumbag
Wolfie.
Wolfie.
Understand the game, and because of how that works, you have to play those game modes in order to even unlock Conquest.
Okay, I like it. I mean, I wasn't familiar with it, but I think it's important, and I like the fact of, like, as we have talked about there, maybe adding Siege in there. That'd be kind of cool to see for sure. So that kind of rounds out the patch, what we're expecting coming this upcoming week. Any last-minute thoughts from anybody? Fats, F. Wolfie, any last things you want to talk about with the upcoming patch that we're going to see here? Don't know if it's Tuesday, don't know if it's Wednesday. I don't know that Hi-Rez has announced one or the other. You like it? You like it overall? Yeah.
Fix Osiris.
Yeah, it's going to be scary if they release it with Osiris the way he is right now.
Word.
Yeah.
The one thing that's making him an issue on the PTS is, thankfully Bart said it's not supposed to be like this, but you can just walk around throwing your 1 on its 5-second cooldown and just be like, mitigation! Who cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's funny.
Also, that ult just punches hell in the face. Sorry, Wolfie. Looks like you 0-7 now, boy.
All right. So we'll move into the last section of the show, which is F.'s favorite. It's his favorite beyond
Esports?
Beyond everything.
It's already over.
Nope. Community questions.
Oh, this is my favorite.
So in the listing here, we do have the credentials for that. I'll go ahead and post this, Wolfie, in the chat here. Our aim chat that we use,
Aim chat.
And there's the link and the credentials to get into it. So I'll throw it over to F. Each of us will just pick a question out of it. There's 70-some questions so far, 72 so far. And the one we like the most, I'm going to go ahead and give you a Night Prowler Bastet skin. But we'll each pick one to kind of talk about, bring up to the group, go around the table and just discuss them. People have been asking in chat throughout the show. So I'll throw it to F. First, Fat second, Wolfie third, and then I'll go fourth there. So we'll take a second here while we wait. While we wait for that, guys, we'll remind you guys in chat, if you guys enjoy the show, you can go ahead and check it out on YouTube. The link is directly below, just to the right of Wolfie there, to the YouTube channel. And you can watch all 49 shows. Next week will be 50, which will be pretty exciting. Outside of that, we also go ahead and the audio version is available on iTunes. So if you guys don't have a chance to catch the show here live, the audio version is available. And what are you laughing about? Did you find a good one?
No.
Okay.
CJab, who's one of my regulars in first period, he actually watches my show in class.
Yeah.
Is Fat Dot a fat feeder?
It's Fat Dot of
if you ever seen Casey Tribe, they call her Fat Feeder. All right. But yeah, so let's see.
Bad dog.
Okay, I love this question.
Okay, go for it.
MVP of the NA tournament this week and MVP of the EU tournament this week.
All right.
I want to introduce a roundtable discussion.
Okay.
Wolfie, now you can pick yourself. I think it'd be the wrong choice. No offense to you this week.
Yep.
Although you honestly, if I'm gonna be straight up because I gotta be nice, I think you have earned the MVP previously. Not this week though.
Okay.
Who would you pick for NA and EU MVPs? I don't know if you watched much. NA, you probably didn't watch much. You probably didn't wake up for EU.
My problem, I don't like these questions. I can't answer an
You're too
MVP
political?
question.
Okay.
I can't answer an MVP question because the way I value the kind of play that these games
Sure.
have is that it's team win or team loss.
I feel
Okay.
You know what I mean?
a lot.
I never give anyone an MVP because it takes away from the other players. Like,
How about most
Sure.
surprising player then? Somebody that stood out to you and surprised you. You're like, wow, like you really stood out this game. How about that one? Is that easier for you to answer or no? Where you saw a game, and you're like, wow, Saya
You know
was
what?
spot
I
on
can.
that game.
I can do that.
Okay,
I can do
go
that.
for it. Go
Most
for it.
surprising player for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say Jerb. It's his first conquest tournament in a long
Oh.
time. and
In
I
a
think he
long
might-
time.
I'm gonna-
You know what? Golf clap to Jerb. Golf clap to Jerb.
He got a lot better than what he used to be, and I will. Most surprising player will definitely be Jerb to me.
Okay. So that would
I
cover
didn't
your
see
NA.
all the
Okay.
EU,
Okay.
but I saw the last game,
Okay.
and I didn't know half the people in those on some of those teams. Well, on the new C9 roster, well, I knew like the old C9 roster and the,
Of
Sure.
course.
Sure.
and
Yep.
the new, but I'm gonna just give a shout out to NQ. He played really well with some of his rotations.
Exactly.
A lot of I saw
Exactly.
I saw a lot of those rotations, and I was like, oh, NQ's there. Nice.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I like the NQ. How about you, Fats? How do you feel?
NQ?
For
No,
And,
no. NAEU MVP or something
yeah,
like.
sure. And yeah.
What's the new team? The one kid who was Princess Tomato.
Princess
All right.
Tomato.
The support player for Worth Gaming. Very
All
team
right.
came out of nowhere and they beat some pretty high up their teams. So no, I
They
like
took
that
out
as well.
Fun Baller Squad, Exposed Secrets. They
Yeah.
took out SK Gaming first round.
Yeah, yo,
They took
Wolfie,
out,
I don't know if you knew about
Restarian's
this.
team.
Proxy, Funball, you know that crazy team.
Oh, I know that team. Yeah.
They got beat by a bunch of no names.
Hey-oh.
I don't think those no names are going to be no names for very long.
Yeah.
No,
no,
no. There's
They
a
are.
lot.
It wasn't a
lot of-
mistake that they won.
There's a lot of good players on both NA and EU that don't have a team. Now, it's not that they can't
Snipe.
be on a team. They haven't found players they synergize with.
Yeah.
This kid could be the best player in the world, but he hasn't found those 4 players where he synergizes
Thank you
with.
for believing in me.
And he's just he's in the middle of nowhere with no one to play with. But he might be the best player that you've ever seen in your life. But until he finds those 4 players he can play with, he's just a great player. So good to see these new teams come out of nowhere and pull upsets. I hope it's a wake up to the team that thought they were going to be easy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm looking at the brackets right now. Worth Gaming in the first round, they beat Team Coast. Then they beat Restarian's team.
That's pretty. Yeah.
Then they beat Funball's team, and then they lost to TSM in a close match.
Wow.
I want to see more of that. Like I said,
yeah.
I'm totally talking down saying that I don't know who they are. And then I'm totally talking up saying, I better know these names because I'm going to be saying them a lot as a caster.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
and that to me is impressive. Like, we've all seen the Cinderella story about I-5. I won't shut up about that team because I love it. And, you know, if I'm going to have to pick an MVP, like, again, I'm with Wolfie. That's tough, and because it's more of a team win than anything else. You know,
I agree there.
I'm gonna say MVP Zimstar. because
Oh, yeah, okay.
he's not a
Coach?
he's not
He's
a
not a
player.
regular. Yeah.
He's not a player. And
Yeah.
homie came in and
I'm
played
going.
fantastic.
I'm gonna say this right now,
Okay.
and this is the honest to God truth. Having a coach is probably the most important player on your team because having that perspective that's not in the game, having that person being able to look over the game, and it not have that because no matter who you are, when you're with somebody for that long, you do argue, especially on the team.
Yeah.
But you do have that competitive nature where
That
if
third
they try to
person.
say that you're not doing something wrong.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to your mind, whether you say it or not, no matter how, well, this person messed up here. Now, if your coach comes to you and says it, you're like,
Hey, I heard
That's-
Snipe. I
this
heard.
is-
Word on the street is Snipe is looking to hire F.Dot as a coach. Word on the street.
we changed our name to the New York Knicks, too.
The coach
being-
aspect is something F-Dot's been talking about
Yeah.
in Zimstar for a long.
Well,
It
that's like.
has
loves
been-
Well,
if
that's
you
like
guys-
I had Zimstar on Smite Talk the other week, and we talked about the value of having that coach on there for TSM, and he said it was it definitely put them above the rest, for sure. Being able to go to the team, and be like, listen, Wolfie, you played excellent. But hey, Shing, you played like garbage, and stop saying that you're not, because here's why you did. Here's where we can go ahead and advance, and here's the changes we can make. And also with a coach, they could definitely be able to go to the team and be like, listen, there's a problem here, let's fix it. And that third party, I think, is extremely important, especially as Wolfie said. You have arguments that come out between the team. Who's going to blame who? Blah blah blah. It happens on any team. Where we could have done it, but if you have a coach that's going through your replays with a non-biased view, except for looking for a W and being able to call out players, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, and I mean, if you frequent Smite Update, First Period,
Yep.
my personal stream, anything you've ever seen me on, I always keep bringing it back to Cognitive Gaming went 8-0 in the regular season last year. TSM won the 100K. Guess who have the most vocal coaches? Matty Pocket for Cog.
Yeah.
And Zimstar for TSM.
Yeah.
There's such a value there, and everything Wolfie said, I've been preaching for months on months on months. Yes. And then be able to call him your coach and have him go 9-0 on Thor.
He knows
that
his
helps.
stuff. He knows his stuff for sure.
That helps. That helps. Oh, Cubo Fred's too busy getting a haircut or fixing his ponytail or something. No doubt. Let's call him Zimstar and have him run the whole
Ponytail.
game. I got to give a lot of credit. Like I said, I'm with Wolfie. It's tough to pick an MVP, but I do like to highlight players.
Okay.
And I want to highlight Sneaky Shank.
Yeah.
Am I getting his name right?
Shaggy Shank.
Shaggy Shank. Yeah.
I want to highlight Shaggy Shank for coming through again on the unknown team, Worth Gaming.
Yep.
Coming through and going 11-4 against teams that should beat him. I think he did fantastic.
According to numbers, at least.
And I want to give a shout out to Zimstar for pulling off the bench and showing that he is. I always say that he's a coach by choice, and people go, and then look at him go.
Yeah.
Look at him run that match. So I got to give credit to where credit's due, and you can't pick an MVP on Dignitas because of the way they play. They play as a unit.
Yeah.
They play as a unit. I always say, I made the joke before about Snipe, and Snipe kind of echoes what Dignitas does. Zapman does something completely stupid. SHADOWQ follows him up, and so does the best, and it works out because they're all there. And that's why it works out. Completely stupid turns into dangerously and exciting aggressive. You know what I mean? It just changes the connotation because they work out together. So, shout out to Dignitas and shout out to Zimstar and Shaggy Shank for sure.
Can I point out the lovely image that was just posted in chat?
I love that. It's hilarious.
I'm putting
His
it up.
face.
I'm putting it up
Face is
on
frightening.
stream. I'm putting it up.
Face
on
is
stream.
Face
This
is
is
scary.
awesome.
Not gonna lie to
That's
you.
the
That's-
greatest picture I've ever seen. I love that image.
Is he in chat right
face is
now?
not
Is he in
popping,
chat?
bro.
He is in chat right now. That is classic.
He's
That's the
a
greatest.
That face is just not popping. And nope.
What does it say there? Does that say? Oh, it says
Scary.
Juice Gaming. Okay, I couldn't tell what it said there.
He
but look-
says he has the poster above his bed. is it next to the Anatoly pre-haircut? The pre-haircut Anatoly picture.
Oh God.
I high-five it when I leave my room every morning.
I drop $25 in front of it every night.
Yo,
Right
I'm-
above the door.
I
Right
can't
above
deal
the
with
door.
it.
Years.
We need
I
to
wake
wrap
up
this
feeling
up.
like a
I
better
can't
player.
deal with it.
I wake up feeling like a better player leaving that 25 under that pillow.
Coach Brandon.
We love you, Brandon. I agree with you guys there. For me, it would be Sio and EU, for sure.
Sio played lights out.
Yeah, and I'll admit I didn't watch NA. I wasn't available this weekend, but I will say for EU, Sio, I just thought he was spot on, especially with his Poseidon play in the grand finals. So Sio for sure. I think that rounds us out there. Fat, you want to go ahead and pick a question from there? We'll move to Wolfie next if there's any that stand out to him that you'd like to go with.
I was looking for a bit, got distracted by the question.
Okay.
But running through this really fast.
Big one.
I can't really think. Here's the simple one. Just talking about Siege. Hey guys, what do you think? What do you guys think about the meta for Siege? Immediately going for Silver Fury to get the Siege Tower. I think it was a little weird, but can work if you have the right team. Does it start the game off well? Start it off with some action. Currently, how Siege works is, oh, okay, nerd. How it works is you fight for the Silver Fury, or you lose.
Yeah.
You're either there for the first initial team fight, or you lose. That's how it goes.
So the ward, throwing a ward down at Silver Fury like right away is a necessity.
There's like 3 wards at the beginning of every game.
Okay.
And if you don't have any wards, we just sneak around like Nuwa with Habwa in tow, stun, knock up. Where'd your HP go? Like who cares?
So very much so. We talked about earlier.
Cookies and cream.
So very much so. We talked about you had said earlier that you wanted to see the Silver Fury delayed, like start after X amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolfie's dying over here.
What was your timing though? What did you think on time?
I said
How much
3
time?
minutes.
3 minutes. Wolfie, what do you think? You've played it.
If it's supposed to be short, it gotta be 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They just need more jungle camps.
I think you should definitely just put it any time that is not level 1. Anytime that there's already pressure on your tower, and you can't just leave the tower, it's fine. Like you can make it 2 minutes or even 1 minute and a half. It'll work just fine as long as it's not the beginning of the game. Before the minions meet up. You shouldn't be able to kill that before minions even meet up.
All you gotta do to make that work is just, hey, Bacchus Hog 3. Everybody else get Hog, who cares? Fight them off. Alright, let's get it. Siege minion.
What was I gonna recommend there? So just like in Assault, there's certain items that you can't use. Do you think in Siege they should apply some of that, or no, not at all?
Yeah.
You're so quick to jump to that. What do you mean?
I start Heartseeker Shibalonke.
And
Do you know what that means?
Jungle.
It means I'm the most disgusting person on the planet.
Okay, so we're talking about
fight for the mid thing, and I just like throw bolas off of the Silver Fury at them, not caring because I'm at the edge. I just walk off and throw it while it's immune going back, and it won't matter. And then I'll go to lane and stack, and then I'll ult and kill people. So I'll have 50 Heartseeker, 6 passive. Darkness. Who cares? You're dead.
Darkness.
Hopping out the cross on you, boy. Hop out the whip. Roll up on you. Out the demons. Roll up. Roll down the window. Poison darts from nowhere.
Roll up to the sea with
Drop
my bones.
Drop by.
I really wish he said that when it all happened. Or you hear darkness. The moment Shibalonke ult, you hear him whisper in her ear, darkness.
It's like a Nocturne,
creepy.
except it's just mad. It's just darkness.
I'd pay for that.
All right, and final.
It's the Eddie Murphy. It's the
Darkness.
Darkness.
So when can we pay for flavor voice packs, please?
Let me make a voice pack. I got you. I'll even make sound effects for some gods. Hobboy just be like, bow.
Wow.
No, we'll just have Bart go, water hand.
What a hand.
He says it mad slow. Water.
Water.
I can do Vermonter's ult, just bop, bop. The whole thing.
Oh my gosh. All right, so talking about meta with Siege, last thing, just to help out people in chat.
Look at this chat.
I know, right? They're like, darkness. What For the meta right now in Siege,
please.
and now that's in PTS, what is the meta for the God type? Like, is there a certain God type where you're like, is it burst, or what is it that you see coming out of Siege right now for meta?
Siege, it's just burst. It's
just
just
burst?
burst
Okay.
damage. There's no point in sustain unless you're like Chalk.
Okay.
Aphrodite is actually really good, mainly because her ultimate is dumb, and Kiss secures kills in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't see Hell working because Hell has to actually switch forms, and she'll be dead because Osiris is on the PTS. So there's nothing there. Sorry.
All right.
Nothing there.
All right. So Wolfie, did you find a question that you liked?
I did.
Okay, go for it.
And X-Fats. No, not Fats. I said X-Fats on purpose.
I got you.
F-Dot is going to like this question.
All right.
Do you
Troll.
think that banning OP gods or target bans are more effective?
Ooh, this is an amazing question.
I actually like this
do love
question as well.
I think that it completely depends on both the team you're playing for and
Okay.
the team you're playing against. If you're playing against Snipe, you're not banning out Shing. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably ban out Wolfie, but do you really want to like waste a ban on Hell because you're afraid of Wolfie's Hell because it's nasty, or do you want to commit to Zeus and Odin? You know, so it really depends on what team you're playing against. If you're playing against Dignitas, go for the respect bans.
Mm.
Take, you know, not Athena anymore, but you know, take a good jungler out of Laz's hand. Take Aphrodite away from the team, reap the benefits. If you're playing against Snipe, ban OP gods. That would be my opinion, because it depends on it depends on how big each person's god pool is. Like you could ban out NQ pretty easily.
Yeah. Tear's gone.
Mm.
Mana's gone.
But is that the right choice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you're gonna give Sayo.
You're giving up
Like
something
Zeus.
else. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
because-
it's very interesting, and
I
so
feel
that
you.
would be like it seems like the douche way out, but honestly, it's all dependent on
I
your
mean,
team and their team.
Yeah, more
One thing I could
opportunity
say that-
with the with the new.
That's
ban
what I was
style now.
saying. Because of the 6 bans,
Yeah.
now you can target the final 2 players on the roster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Unlike who they excel the most in and stuff like that. So that's a really good point.
So if like you see the picks already done, you can it doesn't tell you their name, but you can already tell who's who. It's like, okay, they got Bastet, that's going to Shing.
Yeah.
All right, Hell, obviously Wolfie's gonna play Hell. Let's get rid of AMC. Alad's gonna triangle Frey and get punched in the face. Let's get rid of Sun Wukong and pick Odin for ourselves. And Continental's not gonna have that power that he has because you know everybody's Wukong. It's not even my Wukong, everybody's Wukong. Mad good.
Mm-hmm.
Even better in the hands of somebody like the chat is killing me.
Yeah, you started
The
it.
one,
You
the
started it.
Wolfie one.
Yeah, right. With the little face.
Yo, the try hard.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yo, Undead. That one's hype. I like that one.
All right. So what do you, Wolfie? What do you think about that question?
I honestly think it depends on the state of the game and the
Okay.
patch.
Of course.
Because there's some characters.
That's even more BS than my answer, though.
No. Because it's like, because I'm gonna answer this based on how it is right now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that's what I want.
There's, in some patches or whatever, there's what we call game-breaking characters. They're not OP. They're above OP.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with this patch is there's 5 of them. And we have 4 bans. So we don't really get the opportunity to ban them all out, and team with first pick gets that OP character. Now the characters we're looking at, Bastet, no
Mhm.
counterplay.
Yep.
Zeus, no counterplay. Nemesis, still no counterplay. Uller, not much counterplay in the slightest, especially in laning phase.
Well,
Okay.
And then you have Odin. Now, Odin's the one character that does have counterplay, but he counters 85% of the cast. So-
That is true.
yeah.
So, he's OP by proxy,
yeah.
not by the other state of the... So they have these 5 characters that either force you into certain picks or completely change your whole play style around. So these characters, you feel like you almost have to ban them. And now it's not just, oh, hey, Shing's really good on Bastet. No. everyone's good on Bastet. no one's bad on Bastet. Now you can say,
Walker's good at Bastet.
now you can say some people are bad at Zeus.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
But it's not gonna happen in the top level game. So you're always gonna be scared of Zeus. So in situations like this patch, you sort of feel like you're forced to ban certain OP picks unless you have a team comp, a specific team comp ready to deal with that OP pick. But if the enemy team can see it coming, they can pick it the one right after to counter that. I guess it usually comes down to the patch, and in this patch, I feel that there's one too many game-breaking gods, maybe two too many game-breaking gods, that is forcing people to stray away from target banning.
All right,
Except on the second on the second tier ban. The second tier ban is always target bans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna postulate.
I'm
gonna postulate some hypothetical right here. Let's say there's 6 bans total. Let's say there are 3 Zeus-like characters. Okay. How do you feel about that question now? Let's pretend that the rest of the game is balanced and there's 3 characters that impact the game that make them quote-unquote OP. So do you go for the target bans or do you ban those outright? Which ban do you feel is more effective?
Okay, so when there's 3 of them, you run into the situation of now you're no longer what's God tier. Now you're looking at what's S tier, and you're like, okay, so if we give them 1 God tier over here, right, we can get the 2 S tiers.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to evaluate which God tier up there is the enemy team not that good with.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, in this situation, majority of the God tier guys everyone's good with. But when you have those hard to play characters, like it would come back to, oh hey, Wolfie really loves tier. We're taking tier off the table no matter what. You know what I mean? I could target ban him every game. And now the enemy team has to think, oh, do we want to leave all the God tiers on the table? Or do we want to take them off the table? Because technically you can take them all off the table.
Right.
But there's only 3 of them because the enemy team's usually going to ban one also because they don't want your team to have it because they're going for a specific team comp. If they're taking off tier on the table, they want to take the next best solo lane or the next best jungler. Because you don't want to leave the next best jungler open.
Obviously.
It's not the same with this one because there's 5 OP.
Mm-hmm.
When there's 3 OP, it leaves more on the table. And there's a throwaway ban for at least one team.
So here's a follow-up question, Wolfie. Do you feel that value is added to the game by having a certain amount, like 2 or 3 of gods, that are overpowered?
Okay.
No.
You do so you don't think that so the state where like you always ban Zeus unless you're trying to do something fancy where you're talking about like you sort of play chicken with the Zeus ban, etc. You don't like that. You just want a straight balance.
I want it to the point where every character has counterplay.
Of course. Right.
There will like the guys that we put in God tier have no counterplay. That's why they're up there.
Yeah.
You can first pick them and never feel scared. Okay. You're never in a situation where you're like, damn, we just got Uller first pick. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, we got Uller. Thank God. There's nothing to pick after that.
We eating.
Yeah.
Uller.
Now, like if you were to first pick Apollo, you'd be like, well, what did we just leave open for Apollo?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the same with Uller. You don't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what needs to get taken out. Now, once you take those out, then you can start banning on team comps. So let's say there was no overpowers, right? There was no game-breaking overpower. This S tier has great characters, first pick materials they're there. But every single one of them is like you can deal with. Then you can be like, all right, so Dignitas loves aggressive. Like let's say they all play burst characters.
Right.
I'm not even saying this is what they do. They all play burst characters. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna trick them into going burst characters, and we're just gonna go survivability sustain characters. And you can legit ban out the characters that would have too much burst to stop your sustain and survivability characters.
I like it.
And force them into certain picks, as opposed to, okay, this character is just overpowered no matter what. We have to keep him out the game. And that's what I like.
Okay.
And that's what I hope the game gets to, either by counter picking from characters they release that counter the characters, or nerfing the current god tiers.
Yeah.
Sure. I like it. I like it.
I like that. I respect that. I do. After hearing what you said, I kind of like the idea of having one or two, I might be married more to one, uncounterable god. Because then you go into the either ban it right away or play chicken, see who gets it, then it becomes interesting, you know what I mean? Like, if you just had one Zeus, that'd be cool. Because that was a conversation of, like...
You're still muted.
Excuse me. Now it's a conversation of, you know... Now it's a conversation of, you know... Do we ban it right away? Do we wait for them to ban it? Oh no, they didn't ban it. We gotta grab it. But if we grab it, now let's say he has one caveat, you know. But like the caveat would be bad to have on your team, you know. Now we're getting really hypothetical, but I think that would be interesting, worth looking at, and in a game where you sort of have to accept that perfect balance is an impossibility, I think that's an interesting way to approach it. But
okay.
I think that's a larger conversation for next time, maybe.
Ooh. So I'm gonna hold back from putting out a question, and we'll kind of go around the table. We had 3 questions there. We had one regarding MVP. We had one regarding banning out OP gods, and we had one about the siege meta. I'll throw it to Wolfie first. Which one did you like the best, Wolfie, out of those?
The last one.
Did you like the OP?
The one he picked. That took 20 minutes.
All right. Fats, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Wolfie Senpai's decision.
Okay. F. Dot, yours too? You think the same thing?
Like what I just said.
I want to slap Fats for using the senpai word.
Bro, he's Doom Orb Hell. I learned from him.
Hey, Doom Orb is my item. Do more with Doom Orb.
Say it like you're selling it. Sell me. No.
Wait. Do you guys know the idea behind Do More?
No. Let him sell it, please. I gotta hear this. Go.
Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into the Smite Update Show. Now, if you call right now for 1950 gold, you can act now one time only. You get the Doom Orb. Do more with Doom Orb.
All right, so I guess that's who's going to go through.
That.
I ain't buying that.
That sounds like it. Doesn't it break when you die the first time?
But if you buy it now, you'll also get the defensive item, Hide of the Urchin, which makes you impervious to other. Okay, I go for Wolfie's question.
Okay.
I think that was a very thought-provoking question. It's one of the better questions we've had on this show altogether. So please, give that man a quad code.
He's actually getting a Night Prowler code.
Give that man a Night Prowler code.
So that, from what I'm looking at, that goes out to Mini Math. So Mini Math, I'll go ahead and send you that after the show here. Just look for it on Twitch. Make sure you redeem it on the regular client. Don't go into the PTS client. Does that carry over? Do you guys know? I don't think that.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, well then do not do that. Go into your regular client, and I'll send you the code after this for sure. So let's go ahead and round things up. First off, we appreciate Wolfie coming on. Awesome, man. That was excellent. So, Wolfie, we'll give yourself some time. Go ahead and promote yourself. Where can people check out your stream, your Twitter, all that good stuff?
Okay, I'm just typing in the chat.
Go for it.
But, yeah, I stream all the time. Pretty much all day.
Okay.
I haven't been streaming much Smite just because the rank system is off.
Yeah.
Don't catch me in casuals more than I need to.
You're hanging out with F. Dot too much.
I know, right?
We'll get you here.
I'm just the normal guy who... Oh, man, it's okay.
We'll hook you up.
I'm just a normal, lovable guy.
Yeah.
I usually lurk in these things. You know, don't see me, I don't talk.
Today you didn't lurk. You talk like crazy, and I was like, finally, let's put this man on the show.
He would not stop.
I know. All chat.
Let me in. No one to talk about Osiris. Thank you. Why is it when Fat says thing, no one's mad, but if I say it's a problem?
Yeah, I was legit. I'm like, wow. Fat said that, and no one's going off on it.
Let somebody try me, though.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I I was bored today and I wanted to hang out.
I mean,
Oh, okay, he was
that's
cool.
what we do. Like here, last time we had Jeff Hindler fill in for Octane because he was out drinking milk with his friends. So we had Omega in the chat.
Is it
Omega?
2%?
Some of us grow up and have families, bro. It's all right. It's all right.
Omega in the chat was just talking. We were like, "Hey, come on down."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So
No, we encourage
definitely,
like pro players and personalities to post in chat and give us feedback on stuff. And if just like we had here with Wolfie, we'll go ahead and pull you in. We'll pull you in if we're on to some good discussion. We like it. We like it. Well, cool.
You guys can always just contact me whenever.
That's right. Be like, Wolfie, you're coming on tonight. You don't have a choice.
I'm really
Screw your
like a
scrim.
normal old guy.
Wolfie, I'll be hitting you up in the future for some stuff. Don't worry.
There you
All
go.
right,
See, that's right. Well,
I'm around
F-Dot's
too.
got some stuff in the works, so we'll see it happen.
I do. I do have some cool
So outside of that, what about you guys here? F-Dot, we'll throw it to you first. Where can people check you out?
All right. Well, first of all, my name is F. Dot. You can find me. You can find me all over the internet. I have a Twitter, which is F.NY. You can find my stream at twitch.tv/FSwag. I'll link both, and then I have other social media.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Someone in the chat said, "Thank you, F.Fats Wolfie and Mr. Page 40."
I'm gonna. I might just mail that guy an Amazon gift card.
An Amazon gift card.
But yeah, so for real.
All right, who is that? I gotta ban them. Who is that in chat?
For real. My name is F. Dot. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/F.NY, twitch.tv/FSwag, and also in the mornings every weekday from 7 to 10 a.m. I host a little show called First Period on twitch.tv/TierMonster. It's the same Tier Monster that Dry Bear runs, same Tier Monster that Code Green does. You can also find me casting there, but 7 to 10 a.m. I have a show called First Period. I kind of just wake up, drink my coffee, talk Smite, sports, and everything in between, maybe even play a game of Smite. So come check me out if you're up that early, if you're getting ready for work, getting ready for school, just up still because you're no life and you stay up until the sun goes up. Come hang out. It's what we do. So
Is that every day?
Every weekday, Monday to Friday. Every weekday, 7 to 10.
I might be up.
There you go. See?
Because you're one of those no-lives that stay up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Fats, what about you, man?
X-Fats everywhere. Don't call me and I'll punch you in the face.
All right, cool.
That's not a joke. Like, that's it. Darkness.
Darkness.
I didn't accidentally say it. I was so bad.
Hey, I say when I went to PAX, I stayed at Fats' house and called him X-Fats on a black eye the next day. He actually will do it.
He was actually locked out of my house for a night too, so you know.
If I didn't give him peace
My man's
and alcohol
Anton,
that night, he would have punched me in the face too.
Shout outs to Anton.
Fats is a cat named Anton, or I don't even remember it, dude.
It's all good.
He didn't know my cat's name in the first place, so he just called him Anton the whole time. It's funny because he's a black cat, so he's just Anton.
Anton.
Automatically Anton.
Awesome.
It was funny.
Oh man.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and post my stuff in chat as well. Twitch.tv/OctanePro SCII. Go ahead and follow me on Twitch and also on Twitter.
Octane Proski!
Yeah. We each have our names. Yeah. All right, outside of that, guys, appreciate you guys coming out tonight. The VOD will be available tomorrow late day on YouTube. youtube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. We actually had somebody email us, which was perfect. We got some feedback. We encourage it for sure. Constructive, criticism is always the best. So if you guys have thoughts for the show, recommendations for the show, feel free to email it. Smite Update. You can go onto YouTube, email us directly through there. youtube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. As I said before, all 48 shows will be up there. This one, 49, will be up there as well. So if you want to go back to episode 1 with Dry Bear, check out, kind of mid-series there with Risty UK, and then, the newest ones here with F-Dot and Fats. You can definitely check it out over there. It goes back to, I think it goes back to the day, our first show was when open beta was announced. So the first Smite update was when open beta was announced. So pretty cool for sure to be around for that long as a show. Outside of that, the iTunes version is available, as I spoke about before. If you're on your way to work, you need something to listen to at the gym, whatever, check it out. Audio only on iTunes. So check it out. Appreciate everyone that listens over there. The people over there are great because if they get on me if I don't post it the next day. I get messages, where's the audio only version? So I appreciate that crowd. Appreciate you guys for sure. And make sure you guys go over and leave a 5-star review on iTunes. We appreciate it. And outside of that, thank you very much to Hi-Rez for having the Smite update on Smite game. Thank you to Wolfie for coming out today as just an impromptu guest that worked out perfect, getting kind of the competitive, high-caliber view on a lot of these topics for sure. And our next show, guys, will be next week on Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys come out for that. We're going to go ahead and take probably about a 10-minute break, guys. Take care of a few things, and then I'll be back. We won't be having Smite Talk. Barracuda needed to reschedule. But just going to go ahead and get some I'm going to try out Siege mode for the first time. We'll see how this goes. Should be a disaster. But you guys could teach me. And I'll be back here in about 10 minutes. I'll see all the folks at home then. Take care, everybody.
Peace.